What's up, metalheads? I am here with my good friends from Atwater, California, a little small town. We're going to talk about 1988, the record that came out then, right after.
Welcome to the Metal Block. Guest interviews, top 10s, top 20s, album reviews, and more. Now here is your host, Eric.
Yeah, man, it's all my bitches and my hoes screaming for us, you know.
That intro got me pumped. All those screaming fans.
That's the song I want Jimmy to play on, because that's why I wrote that bass line for him, and then to add stuff to it. Like, you know, eventually I'm gonna have lyrics that Paul wrote for me on that when I finish it. But I just let me use it for an intro first. I want to go old school, kind of Rat sound, and so I was kind of looking to do something kind of classic metal. Yeah, kind of 80s glam metal, if you will.
A lot of the 80s glam metal was good. I still like listening to, old Rat and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's the best. I tell these young bucks, you don't know what it was like to grow up in the 80s.
I don't really consider Rat glam, though. They can actually play.
Yeah, they actually were talented. And,
Poison and Faster Pussycat are glam for me.
Yeah. Like, those are the bands, like, they stick to the 3 chords and party music, have a good time. Whereas, Rat and all those bands that were before that, they were, like, a little bit more intricate with their...
Yeah, Rat was a little bit more technical than most.
Some of that stuff that Warren Martinis, those riffs, there's to this day, it's kind of hard to play. Lay it down, that's a hard one. That's a hard riff. And you have to stretch your fingers. And shit Jakey Lee was coming up with for Ozzy. And Jakey Lee was in Rat before.
I was going to say that.
Yeah, and a lot of those songs he wrote for Bark at the Moon were kind of like riffs that he was going to use for Rat, but he just decided to, him and Warren DeMartini were roommates, and they would kind of trade off every now and then.
I think Warren DeMartini is like the only guy who can kind of sound like George Lynch too,
Yeah, he's got that George Lynch sound. He kind of holds his pick the same way where he does that the whole like that. Yeah,
it's very underrated.
Yeah, that's weird about George Lynch. He when he's picking, he's like his hands like that or something. It's like weird, like he's like doing
posing.
This shit.
He's posing for the camera.
So here we are talking about 1988. I got Jude, Pablo Fish, and Kris, aka Cirque sometime.
Hey, don't tell anybody.
Don't tell anybody, man. Yeah. It's a mystery how that name came about, but yeah. And we're just talking about like the 80s. We went through 80s, 84. I went through 85, 86. I skipped 87 accidentally, so we're going to do that next. And so here we are at 88. This is a time when music kind of started, like a lot of the bands that were really cool in the early 80s started to kind of change their sound. Bands like Iron Maiden were using like synth guitars, and we're kind of like, oh no, this and that. But then there was still like the thrash metal that was still kind of like surging at the time. It was like like Slayer and those bands, and like Forbidden and Death Angel, like those bands weren't disappointing, right? Like they were just so like consistent with their sound. And what about you, Paul? Like, what was like a highlight of like maybe early 80s, and then like when did you start to feel the shift?
I was really getting into Death Angel at that time. They came the year before they came out with the Ultraviolence, and I was waiting so long for it to came out, and they came out with Frolic Through the Park. And it took a moment for the album to grow on me, but the musicianship, they really grew. They really, improved on it. And now that I listen to the album, I understand it more. But there was a lot of bands that came out at that time that was already leading into the death metal bands like Death and Pestilence. They were coming out, and some really strong, heavy albums that I like. Back then, we talked about it many times. We go to the record store and we look at the album covers to buy, and like Pestilence and Death just had some great album covers, great song titles, and
whatever looked evil.
Good chance on it.
It was evil. It had devil horns.
So music-wise, I thought it was still great. Destruction came out with an album then that was strong. I love the album that they produced that year. It's really good. Queensrÿche did an amazing job. Probably one of my favorite albums ever released by Queensrÿche.
Yeah.
It still is one of my favorite albums.
Yeah.
So 88 was a strong year. It was a good year. I mean, things were going to change after that, but during that time, it was really good.
When did Guns N' Roses come out? That was 87, right?
Which one?
Guns N' Roses. Did they
Appetite?
Yeah. Was that 87 or 89?
I think so. Was it 87?
I'm thinking.
I think it was 87.
Yeah. It's so weird because it seemed like that would have came out after 88, 89 or something. But
I remember Jude wearing a fucking top hat to school and shit.
Oh yeah, he's all into the Slash or what?
I think I got that from my girlfriend.
Yeah.
That was a good album. Just that they overplayed "Welcome to the Jungle." They just way overplayed it.
Yeah, I was going to jam it the other day, and I was like, well, yeah, but I know every song on there, so I beat it to death when it first came out, and but. What about you, Kris? What did 88 mean to you? Do you have any memories from that time?
Well, 87, 88 was like a paradigm shift for metal to me, because that's when I transitioned over from the new wave of British heavy metal, and then thrash really started. Like you guys said, Husband, Testament, Forbidden, Death Angel, all those bands, and then of course they started playing in fucking Merced, so it was like, holy shit, we got real metal coming to Merced now.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was for me, that was the biggest shifts, because I really got into thrash, right at that 87, 88 time. That was a big shift, and plus, I'm probably more into the fucking shredder guys than you guys are, but even if you're not just pure the Mike Varney shrapnel guys, killer, but just the influence of even the thrash guitars were so fucking good. It was just insane, the theory went out the fucking
yeah tons of sweet picking and all this, when all those arpeggios is I was always an Yngwie guy, and that's why and I love the shrapnel stuff too, but I was always sticking to Yngwie, and then I never got Eddie Van Halen. I was kind of an anti Eddie Van Halen guy. I'm starting to appreciate him more now these days, but unfortunately, after he's dead, I appreciate him now. It's
you're a little late. But
I'm like, oh shit, they were actually damn good. I think it was David Roth. Just kind of
shrapnel with David T. Chastain. Chastain was just amazing.
Yeah, I remember Chastain.
I loved his style. Yeah.
Yeah,
I just when I was looking through my old records and shit, I found that the Chastain Seventh and Never.
Yeah,
that's a great album.
Yeah. I need to get that on vinyl. I think I was looking for it one time, and I saw it was kind of high priced on Discogs.
Mystery of Illusions, Seventh of Never. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember getting into that. Doug Marks with Hawk. I think Hawk was really good. But...
Hawk, Doug Marks in the back of the fucking Guitar Player magazine. He sold all that shit.
Yeah, I took one lesson from that. I think I ordered one cassette, and then that's where I learned about how to harmonize when you count 4 frets down from your whatever key you're in to do a harmony or whatever. And I learned it from Doug Marks, and it's the only thing I ever learned from.
Sure.
Everything else I learned on my own. Yeah, the 88. It's funny too, because that's you were talking about that earlier, Paul, about the we just liked everything that looked evil and satanic, but it's funny because you think about the PMRC, they were going after bands accusing them of devil worship when there were actually bands showing that shit to your face, satanic stuff, and they weren't even talking about them. They were talking about Wasp and Twisted Sister and those bands,
Seems like it was just mostly the major label bands, really. They wouldn't really do anything with underground. I mean, I listened to a lot of interviews, and a lot of bands had trouble releasing their albums because of the content. For instance, Geffen Records didn't want to release Slayer, Rain in Blood, because of the lyrics for Angel of Death, and so they didn't even want to put anything that's related to Geffen on it, and a couple other bands, same thing, because the album cover, they had to change it.
Yeah, makes sense. What about you, Jude? What did 88 mean to you?
88 was
any
pretty
stark memories?
That was a pretty amazing year. That was the year most of us graduated.
Yeah.
For me, that was a year where I was starting to get into a lot of other music besides metal. I was starting to get into alternative stuff, death rock stuff, a lot of punk stuff. I started playing in the band Phalanx.
Yeah, I remember that.
We started playing. That was when I played my first gigs and stuff. So was a pretty.
We saw like, yeah, Jude's like the weird one out of all of us.
It was a pretty influential year for me. Yeah,
you come up with these weird riffs. We're like, what kind of riff is that? Like you're like,
yeah,
those, like, weird riffs, but they were
left
good.
a lasting impression.
Yeah,
for the rest of my life, I guess.
It was cool though. That's how you do. And you were at Sky Pig. So you guys, that's your album in the background there. I'm gonna kind of show that. No, I'm gonna put it in the description so people can check it out because you guys are working on a new record.
Yeah.
Right? This is some heavy ass shit, man. This is some heavy.
Go to our Bandcamp. We got lots of merch there, lots of releases.
Yep.
And we're working on new stuff. Yep.
I got
Sky Pig on vinyl. Yep.
Yep. And you can also get Sky Pig on cassette. Yes, kids. Yeah. They still make cassettes.
Shit.
Cassettes are coming back.
Can you find cassette players?
Yeah. I mean, I got one.
Amazon.
Yeah.
On Amazon?
Amazon's coming.
Yeah.
Actually,
I have a tape player somewhere around here.
The only problem with Amazon, I ordered a cool one because it looked like an old style boombox, had little lights on and stuff. But then when I'm playing tapes, I noticed the music was off pitch. I'm thinking, wait a second, and I noticed
too fast or something.
Yeah, a little bit too fast. It was like, and it ruined it for me. So I had to get. So I found an old cassette player at my job. I guess my boss had a CD cassette player at the office, and I grabbed that, and that plays than normal. So
that was awesome, man. We get one, and everybody had a copy of it.
Yeah,
as long as you had a dual cassette, you know. That was great.
Yeah, having a good, I wouldn't say have perfect pitch, but having a good ear for stuff, it kind of ruins it sometimes because you're like, you notice all that shit. You're like, fuck, now I can't enjoy it because it's not playing the way I hear it, you know, in the proper key. Yeah. But yeah, so 88. So we're counting down 10 to 1. 10 is like the least favorite, but still a favorite. Down to 1, the all-time favorite. Basically. And then I'm thinking, like, you know, like whatever album that I'm pretty sure like we're gonna have the same album on our list, so some are gonna be ranked differently. But then there might be one record that like everybody has more than once, and that could be like crowned the album of 1988, you know, things like that, right? And then yeah, because I know there's like, you know, there's a lot of classics, you know, that you just cannot like ignore and take it off the list. But it was a fairly easy list for me to put together. Was it easy for you, Paul, to put this list together compared to like the other ones that we did? For you, Paul, was it easy for you to put this list together?
I
know you did it.
It was hard to narrow down to the top 10.
Yeah,
you know, there's quite a bit, but you know, I can get the top 10 out of it. That's not a problem. But it was tough.
It was tough. What about you, Chris? Was it easy for you?
There are so many great albums that probably not, I mean, I'll do honorable mentions of them, but it was really tough.
Yeah. What about you, Chris? Was it easy for you?
It was easy to get 10 albums, but yeah, to narrow it down was I had to cut a bunch of shit.
Yeah. That's what I thought of you when you commented on Metal Block, the group. And if anyone wants to join the Metal Block group, it's on Facebook. But yeah, you're like, you got to make sure that this album is on you got to make sure. And I was like, well, let me just get him on the show. And then he can just.
That'll work.
In there, right?
If you want it on the list, you got to put it on the list.
Yeah, you got to put it on the list. What about you, Jude? Was it pretty easy?
Yeah, like, you know, it was easy to get 10. Yeah. Kind of a little difficult to think, you know, which one was my favorite.
Yeah.
Those top 3 or 4, they're like, I love them all, you know. So
yeah,
we'll see.
Thank God for Wikipedia that actually you can go through each year and find all the shit that came out at the time.
It's easy,
especially if you forgot like which ones came out at the time. Yeah, they really.
Yeah, I don't put my albums in a chronological order, so it's
yeah, I got all mine in alphabetical order somehow. Somehow I did it. I got like I think 800 records now. Since 2019, I've been collecting. And Jude's got what, 1,000, 2,000?
Got a few, yeah.
Yeah. 2,000. What do you, Chris? You still collecting vinyl? I know you said you lost some of your vinyl, right? Yeah.
I still have my old vinyl. I haven't bought much new at all.
Yeah.
Because my record player got jacked, and I just said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna go full digital now."
Nice. Yeah, you can get decent record players now. Except for I bought this one at Guitar Center called the Gemini. I thought it looked cool because it looked like a Stormtrooper's white, but I'm noticing now it's like fucked up because every record on about the third song it starts skipping it starts replaying. And I'm thinking, like, at first I thought it was just a record, and it's starting to do it on every record. So I'm thinking it must be the tone arm that's fucked up or something. So
yeah, you just need to play with the balance of the tone arm.
Yeah, probably. And then
mine has a laser that keeps the needle like right in the middle of the groove and shit. It's called linear tracking. So that's why when that screwed up, I said, screw it, I'm not buying another one. You can't even find them. You can't find them anymore. So
can't
afford a new laser.
No laser.
Yeah.
I might just, if I can't fix it, I'm just gonna junk it. It was only $89, but I still got my other one that works good. But I just figured I just need a new record player. All right, guys. So I'm gonna count it off. Let's start with Paul. What was your number 10?
My number 10. It was tough, but it's DRI, Four of a Kind. You know,
Okay.
I was really getting into DRI at the time. Seen them a few times back then. It was just heavy, hard hitting. You know, it was just a solid band. You know, that whole crossover tone. I just love Spike's guitar sound.
Was DRI the ones that had that song? Was DRI the ones that had that song something about Cold Blue or something? Or was that, what punk band was that? Gonna creep on over to the mortuary. You know, that was part of the lyrics. It was something called Code Blue was the song. It was a punk band, but I was thinking it was DRI.
Yeah, I don't know. They have Nursing Home Blues.
Yeah, so they have a song called that.
Yeah. Four of a Kind was a good album. It was nice, solid. You know, my favorite album by them is still going to be what you call it, Crossover, but it's still a great album. It's heavy.
So DRI, when you consider Crossover, it's like punk with kind of a little bit of metal, right? Like that's what Crossover. Crossover was back in. Yeah, kind of thrashy like punk.
I think they were one of the first bands to cross over, I think.
And then Suicidal and shit.
Suicidal, Conformity. Yeah. You know,
and then Agnostic Front started doing it, and then Cro-Mags with 7 Wishes. You know, was 7 Wishes or Best Wishes? Best Wishes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that was an awesome album.
Yeah. They played with Destruction on that tour.
Oh, they did?
Oh, yeah. A crowd was skinheads and long hairs. It was crazy.
So that was that was like the skater stuff, right? All the skaters were into that, right?
Yeah, times have changed on that. And now you go to the show, it's like a mix of everybody and everybody gets along.
Yeah,
back then there was a lot of tension, yeah.
And then, you know, if you guys have any honorable mentions, we could throw those out any time. If you guys want, if there's something that didn't make your list, but you want to mention it, you could throw it out. You know, we could like throw them out throughout the show. We could throw out an honorable mention or two. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Kris Young. What was your number 10, man?
All right. So I'm talking about my neoclassical era here. So the Mike Varney Shredders. So I had to throw one in as a number 10, and kind of hard to pick, but I picked Marty Friedman's Dragon Kiss.
Marty Friedman's Dragon Kiss. That's
it.
Dragon's Kiss.
Nice.
So he played with he went on to Megadeth right after this.
Yeah, I think that's Megadeth's best album when they did Rust in Peace with him. Fucking just the ultimate lineup, and
that's a fucking killer record.
I love his playing. He's it's so heavy too. Then there's all this classical bass stuff on there. I remember this song. It's like so I ended up trying to learn the classical bass lines on there and shit too. So it really got me into classical just listening to that shit. So
he's
I think I improved a lot.
Yeah, I saw him in concert a couple of years ago. He played with Queensrÿche, and he had his Japanese band, or he's got Japanese members in his band because he lives in Japan now. And he puts on a really good show. Like his music, you know, it's all instrumental, but it's like really good, you know. And
I still have his instructional video on VHS.
So he was popular with him and Jason Becker, right? They had Cacophony or something like that. Is that where he
came from? After their solo albums, then Cacophony came out when I was when I was in college.
Yeah. And I think I remember getting into that a little bit back then. I think because everyone was doing the guitar thing, and I was trying to be a little bit different, you know, like because everyone was like, you know, I was trying to be like, I don't want to be too much into that. Like I said, I was my Yngwie. I was in my little corner with Yngwie, just like, and I couldn't play anything Yngwie ever did. I would maybe figure out a couple of his notes and then pretend I was playing the best of the rest of it or whatever, and faking it till I made it. You know, never really made it, but you know.
That's cool. No, but I mean, like Mike Varney, like did everything that I loved, you know, because even Yngwie started with Mike Varney, and he was in Steeler, right? So
that's true. Yeah, he was also in that. Was Mike Varney a guitar player himself? Is that?
He can play. I don't know any albums he's on, but he can definitely play.
Is he the Shrapnel guy or something?
He's the guy who made Shrapnel.
Yeah, Shrapnel Records is the main guy. Yeah, I'd like to maybe look up some history on him and see like how he started that label, and you know that'd be kind of cool to check that out. That's cool.
Didn't Ron Keel used to sing for Steeler?
Yeah. Ronnie Keel. I finally got that.
Is that where he started before Keel?
I believe so. Yeah.
That's a good record, man. That Steeler record with Keel singing.
Yeah, I finally got that on vinyl not too long ago.
I saw an interview about that Steeler album, like when Yngwie came into the band, because Ron Keel wrote all the music and shit.
Yeah.
And then Yngwie comes into the band and he's like, dude, we need to rewrite all this guitar. This shit's way too easy.
Yeah.
The other guy in the band, I think the bass player was like, dude, just like, you just fucking joined the band, dude. You're shitting all over its music.
That's how he was with Alcatraz. He just joined Alcatraz and just fucking took over, and then he tried to choke the singer, and that's how he got kicked out, because he tried to choke Graham Bonham. Because Graham Bonham told him to calm down on stage and not play while he was trying to sing. Yngwie just, I guess, the story said he threw him up against the wall with his hands around his back.
Well, I think Yngwie's attitude back then was justified, because I actually dated a girl in college, and her boyfriend before me was Swedish.
Oh yeah,
in a band, and then they were at a party together, and Yngwie was there, and she said Yngwie smacked her across the face.
Oh damn!
I was like, dude, he must be a dick.
Fucking dirtbag.
Yeah, Dirtbag's a maniac though, man. Fuck. And you could tell on stage. I just saw him in concert this in October, and
I think he got more mellow after he had that car accident, and he had to go through recovery and therapy and all that. Yeah,
like he's all nice now.
Basically learn how to play all over again.
Yeah.
Became a little bit more humble at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I watched an interview with him on that Mike Beato. He seems pretty cool on that.
Yeah. I watched him on that one too. Yep. I think it was on. No, less is more. More is more. Not less is more. Or more is more.
More is more. God damn it.
Yeah, more is more. Yeah, I love his energy, man. It's like his attitude and his energy. He was arrogant. He's kind of an asshole, but he puts it into the music, and I just think it sounds so cool.
It's like, I'm never gonna hang out with the guy. I just like his music. I don't give a fuck if he's a dick or not.
Richie Blackmore is my other favorite, probably my all-time favorite guitar player. Richie Blackmore, as far as influence-wise. So, and
he has an attitude too.
Yeah, he's kind of an asshole. I guess I just like asshole guitar players. As long as I don't have to hang out with them. What about you, Jude? Number 10 for you.
Number 10.
Oh yeah, that's a great album.
Forbidden Evil.
Chris's favorite song is on there.
Yeah.
That's. I just remember them. That's
fucking ranked too low.
Yeah. I somehow missed that.
Casino International, Forbidden Evil. When
they
changed their name.
Yeah.
So they played Casino International. They played there, right?
Yeah.
They played them as Forbidden Evil.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, with Death Angel and Betrayal.
Right?
So Violence played too, right?
Violence, yeah.
So I thought we were supposed to play on a bill.
I think every metalhead in Merced was there.
Yeah.
Every true metalhead was there.
Mm-hmm. I remember we were supposed to play there with Vane. Remember before Vane kind of broke big, and then Vane was supposed to come into Merced and play, but the show got canceled. And I remember seeing a picture of Davey Vane with his hair. But I remember Davey Vane was known for producing a lot of those bands in San Francisco, like a lot of the thrash bands. Even though he's a glam guy, but he was producing demos for thrash. He
created the Death Angel label. I mean, not label, the logo. He's the one who designed that.
Yeah. So Davey Vane's responsible for that, even though he was a glam guy. But yeah.
Yeah, I think Fatal Rage opened some of those shows too. So
Fatal Rage. Yeah. Those guys are always.
Marty was involved in bringing the bands here and all that. Yeah, he had the connections and knew people.
Mm-hmm.
And then
it was disappointing when they didn't, continue. I thought for sure it would have been a great thing to continue.
Yeah.
What about the big Phalanx Will-O-Wisp show at Casino International?
Yeah. I see that flyer floating around every now and then on Facebook. Cool.
That was my first gig.
Yeah. I remember I had the pink spandex on. I think I was wearing a mustard yellow guitar.
I love that guitar.
Yeah, me too. I wish I saw the body of it, or at least the guitar. Did you say Aaron has it now or something? Or
Huh?
Did you say Aaron has that guitar now?
I don't know who has it. I mean, I have a mustard yellow guitar also now, but it's, I love that Seville that you had. That was the action on it was awesome.
Whoever has it, I would love to get it back, buy it off or something.
That was I remember it was a Seville. Yeah,
that was my first real guitar. Jimmy's brother gave me his pawn shop slip to get it out of pawn or whatever.
Is that where you got it from?
Yeah, because Jimmy's I was playing that crappy guitar. We were rehearsing in Jimmy's little garage out there in the country, and his brother comes, "Hey Jimmy, hey, you want a guitar?" He He'd always tease Jimmy, "Hey, fat boy," saying shit like that. And he's like, "Yeah, I got this guitar. I can't get it out, but you can have it. It's $40. You get it out." I told my grandma, give me this guitar.
$40, not bad.
I didn't know what color. I didn't know what it even looked like. I just got there and was like, "Oh shit, what the hell is that?" Like it was a Les Paul shaped guitar, with mustard yellow, and I was like, "Okay, this is my guitar." Seville. Yeah, then I took it to Atwater Music, had him string it up and tune it up and all this shit. I didn't know how to tune my guitar back then. I just tuned it whatever sounded good. Then just, like I said, Jimmy was taking lessons and he learned how to tune, and he taught me how to tune using the harmonics.
Wasn't that guy named Hugh that owned Atwater Music?
Yeah.
He was a cool guy. He was a cool guy.
Hugh Self, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, and he was the other guy, Jimmy something, that would teach the lessons there. Jimmy, I can't remember his last name.
I think a lot of the kids in Atwater learned from him. And what's that guy who used to work there? Jimmy.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to remember. His last name that's who Jimmy took lessons
I can't remember
from.
either.
Yeah, I think he passed away not too long ago, from what I heard.
Yeah, the guy was a total the Rolling Stones fan, man.
Yeah. Himself reminded me of an older version of Dave Mustaine. He always had that kind of attitude.
Every time I see him, every time I go in there, he plays me a recording of Brown Sugar that he did.
Oh, yeah? Cool.
Yeah, it sounds pretty damn good.
Yeah. Atwater Music. Right there in Atwater. So that was your number 10. Now, Jude.
Yep, what do you got?
My number 10 is Voivod Dimension Tetris.
That's a great album.
Now, back in the day when this came out, I kind of I was into it, but, I remember seeing Paul's collection and like, oh, man, I got to listen to that. But I just wasn't really fully into it at the time. But over the years, I've just been listening to it and I really love it. Especially when I got the box set recently, I've just been jamming it even more. And it's like, okay, this has got to be at least on my list, if anything. And that's the reason why it's number 10, because it's not something I was really totally into at the time when it came out. But being a big Voivod fan, I just cannot, not put them on my list, so they're gonna go on somewhere. Now they got a cool documentary coming out. Supposed to be really good. It's sanctioned by the band, and I think it did a premiere in Canada, whatever, where they're from.
Crazy Canadians.
Yeah,
it should be a genre of their own because they kind of created their own.
Yeah, I think they're actually going on tour now with some symphony, so they're going to be playing with some major symphony. I think they're doing a few shows with that.
Their guitar player is in Forbidden now too. He's helping write a new album, so he's doing Voivod and Forbidden.
That's Chewy, right? He's phenomenal. He took all of Piggy's riffs and just revamped them and sort of. So
I like to hear him play the solo on Eyes of Glass. I think it'd be awesome. He's a good guitar player. When we saw him last time, what's his name? Smith was playing it, and it wasn't like it was with Glenn Avalos playing it. The two switch off wasn't as good.
Okay, yeah.
I wish they'd get him back in the band because the first album, was awesome with him. So.
Yeah, but he wasn't into metal. That's the funny thing is he didn't like metal. He was a classical guy.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I remember when we seen him. At the Warfield one time, and it was like them with Nuclear Assault and Testament, and I think Voivod opened the show up, and they all had little combo amps on stage, on platform. And then, like the Nuclear Assault and Testament comes out, they just got wall to wall Marshall stacks. And funny.
Yeah. Wasn't it the show that spent about 20 minutes getting John Cannell's hair untangled from his guitar headstock? He got his hair tangled up in his headstock, and it's about 20 minutes trying to get it out.
Oh, damn. Yeah, it's a phenomenal band. I mean, like you said, Paul, they need their own genre of music, but it's cool because they do fit in a lot of different genres. They're metal, they're thrash, they're even jazz. They've played the jazz festivals a few times, and they even put out a record with them playing the jazz festival, which their music is jazz, basically. I mean, their chords, I can't name any of those chords that they're playing.
They had all those crazy time signatures. Me and Paul kind of in a band that we are in, Necrolatry Dreams. We're pretty influenced by them.
Oh yeah, okay.
We're trying to emulate that sound, those wacky little chords and stuff, and the weird time signatures. And
yeah. We had a song that was similar to that. Like we were coming up with a cool riff and totally oh yes, like totally Voivod. Let's make a song out of it, and we played that for a while. Because when we first moved to LA, we were just 2-man band for a while, and then after Aaron went back home and stuff. So we had to just sort of like, and we had these songs were like 12 minutes long and all disjointed, and we'd play our first show at Gazari's, and it was like you only get a 30-minute set, so we played like 3 songs basically. I think we only had 20-minute set, and I remember the guitar player of Exodus was there. Like we got to see him after the show, and he was like, "Hey, you guys were really good." I was like, "Oh, thank you, man." Like it wasn't Gary Holt, but it was whoever the other guy was that had his little mustache in Exodus at that time. And,
Hano.
Yeah,
Rick, right?
Yeah, whatever his name is. I never knew his name.
The forgotten guitarist.
Yeah, the forgotten guitarist.
There's another Gary, but it was Hano.
Yeah, Hanold, right? The other guy they call him.
Yeah.
We're like excited. We're like, oh wow, we just made it. The guitar player of Exodus saw us our very first gig. You probably really hated us, but
His name ain't Gary, dude. It was Rick Hunnell, wasn't it?
Rick Hunnell. That's it.
Rick Hunnell, yeah.
I fucking even forgot his name, dude.
Yeah.
Poor guy. He's not even a guy.
Terrible.
And he's not in the band no more, right? They probably got a new guy. I think I saw some footage of.
He's not in the band anymore.
Yeah.
It's the guy from Heathen.
Okay.
Lee Altus.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in the band now,
Yeah.
He's been in the band for 20 years now.
Yeah. I bought their last album. It's actually really good. That last album, I forgot what it was called, but had a cool album cover.
Yeah. Oh, the something Persona.
Yeah. So, I mean, that just the voices sometimes gets to me a little bit. But I mean, I like it. I guess it fits the Exodus. What's your number 9, Pablo?
Number 9 is where is my mind? It's Sanctuary. Refuge Denied.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Shit.
First time I heard World Dane's voice on Battle Angels, I was like, holy crap. How's anybody hit highs like that? It's amazing. It's the whole album is amazing on that one. And then the backstory behind it, how they got Dave Mustaine to produce it for them. They met him at a party and they got him really drunk, and then they dragged him to their car so he could listen to the demo.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
And then so they got him to produce the album for him, and then he actually did the guitar on White Rabbit. He did the opening solo on the White Rabbit on that album. It's a great album.
This is cool. I'm getting trivia I didn't even know.
Yeah. The Metal Block, you get trivia, and it's all about the music. And what about I remember Sanctuary, so that's the guy with the really long blonde hair, right?
That's World Dane. It's may he rest in peace. It's disappointing. It went way too soon,
Didn't the band reunite recently, and they got a new guy or something like that? I thought I saw something new on Sanctuary that they got back together. But
they're getting back together. There's a guy that they have singing that has a voice just like World. He did an amazing job with Battle Angels.
I think he still got the really long hair. I think.
He's from LA. I think. He's a Asian guy, but amazing freaking voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't think that voice was coming from him, but he did an awesome job. Yeah. So they're trying to, do something with him and then try to get an album out.
Another good band that got back together with the new singer is that Crimson Glory, and they sound really good now. Remember Crimson Glory, the guys that wore the masks?
Yeah.
Really, Midnight was a singer, and then I think Todd LaTorre sang with him for a little bit.
Yeah, I thought Todd LaTorre wanted to record an album with them.
Yeah, and I don't know. I think he ended up going to Queensrÿche right after that or something.
Yeah, because he said that Crimson Glory is what he was waiting for. Mm-hmm. That's a good band. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you, Chris, number 9.
Well, I'm gonna stick with my fucking Mike Varney.
Oh yeah, okay.
Shrapnel shit.
Yeah. Shrapnel.
So this one, we just saw him, Paul. Going Vinnie Moore with Time Odyssey.
Oh yeah, that's a good album.
You saw him in concert?
I have that album. Yeah, I should have brought it and had him sign it. I have that album.
I know I couldn't find it, so yeah, I have the album too. I have that one and the first one on.
I remember I used to really listen to. I was listening to Vinnie Moore a lot, around maybe it was this album that I was listening to. I remember being at Aaron's house in his bedroom and just really liking Vinnie Moore's style. It was very clean. It was he did his very technical, but but it was very clean and smooth. Like he had a very smooth.
Yeah. He's like plays perfect. But like there's a cover of While My Guitar Gently Weeps on there, and I wasn't a Beatles fan at all when I was younger, so I didn't even fucking know that it was George Harrison's song.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you guys remember Danny Gray. He was like a year behind us. And
I have him on Facebook. Yeah.
His dad played guitar, and we're jamming this over at his house, and I was like, yeah, check this out. He's like, he goes, yeah, that's George Harrison. I go, how the fuck do you know this song?
Vinnie Moore, man.
He goes, Vinnie Moore didn't write that fucking song, you douchebag.
Cool. Yeah. Oh, I do remember that was the album I was really into. So yeah, that's because I remember that song being on there. But I knew it was the Beatles because my mom was a big Beatles fan. So yeah.
Like the only time I listened to Beatles, I think, was at your house, Jude, and I saw the White Album in your dad's record collection or something.
Yeah, I got into the
Dad had an amazing record collection, man. That was freaking awesome.
Yeah, I think Jude's the one that turned me on to the White Album too, because even my mom was a big Beatles fan, but I didn't know much about their music, and then Jude had the White Album, and that's when we started listening to that more. And
I'm supposed to get those records
everybody.
At some point.
Yep. Yeah, Jude always influenced. If you wanted something different or unique, you go to Jude and he'd give it to you.
Yeah.
He was our drug dealer for that kind of music.
Well, drinking Robitussin,
drinking Robitussin. Yeah. You guys do this every fucking weekend. How the fuck you survive this shit? I'm like, I did it for the first time with those guys, and like they're all thrown up in the fucking toilet.
Taking turn fishing for beer.
Cheaper.
I was like, I never want to get a sore throat ever again.
I know. How is that cheaper than getting drunk with real alcohol?
Oh no,
because all you needed was one of those little tiny jars of it. And it was like,
I figured maybe you guys
slam it.
I figured maybe you guys like the effect of it because maybe it looks like blood when you're throwing it up and shit.
You'd drink that and you'd be done for the rest of the night.
Yeah, that's all you need.
Massive.
I remember walking through the Merced Mall and me and Scott were like in Music Land, and then Jude and some of his buddies come walking down. He's like, dude, we're fucking robing. I was like,
got a new term for it and everything, robing.
All you guys standing in line at Long's Drugs buying it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, right.
Like 6 of them or something.
They're all
Chris Counsell, Kerwin.
That's why there's a warning label on those bottles now.
I even tell some of my clients that, I used to drink Robitussin and get drunk. So you guys I drink anything with ALC on it. Anything with the word ALC, I was drinking it, or the letters ALC. Yeah, so that was yours. And Kris, Vinnie Moore.
Yes.
Get out there and get Vinnie Moore's Odyssey. For you young kids out there just playing around with your computer and your AI, here's the real shit, man.
I forgot to mention that he did a clinic, I think, in Modesto at what's the name of that place? Like Skip's Music or something.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that place.
It was so awesome, dude. He went in there and he like started showing everybody, this is a mode. And I learned like all my theory from one fucking thing I'm seeing.
Nice. Now, Vinnie Moore, he plays in recently he's playing in either Kansas or one of those kind of bands, right? He's playing in one of the more classic rock bands.
UFO.
That's right. Yeah, he plays with UFO.
Yeah. They did a UFO song when we saw him, Paul, right?
Oh yeah.
And then they had the singer. The singer was the dude from the Trilogy album of Ingve.
Joe Lynn Turner. Yeah.
No, not Joe Lynn Turner. It was before. I'm sure.
Jeff Scott Soto, maybe.
No, after Jeff Scott Soto and before.
Mark Bowles.
Mark Bowles, that's it. Yeah.
Good singer.
It sounded good. It sounded good. Yeah. They actually did an Ingve song. They did.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Except for that other guitar player that we didn't even know who the fuck he was, played this Ingve parts. I was like, what the fuck, dude?
Oh yeah.
They don't even refer to him as Ingve. They just say the Swedish guy.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's what they refer to him as, the Swedish guy.
Nice. What about you, Jude? I think we're still on number 9, right?
Boy, Bob. Where's it at?
Okay, so here's a one up. Yeah.
Yep. Well, we already talked about it. We don't need to keep talking about it.
Yeah, just everyone knows, like we're all gonna have probably the same record, but we're gonna have different rankings. So that's what makes it interesting. It's like, wow, that album was higher than yours, and even though we might have the same, and see where we land because our musical taste at the time was a lot different. My number 9 is Destructions
Release
from
Agony.
we got yeah, I see I'm wearing the shirt.
Oh, shit.
I wear the
Life
shirt around
Without
town. People
Sense,
trip out on it.
It's a great song, Life Without Sense.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Now we used to call it, like, remember Harry was joined the band. Then we used to call him Harry Malmsteen, but I don't think I was actually.
Yeah.
So we would just call it.
For
the longest time,
Jude was the one who referred to him as Harry Malmsteen.
yeah, for the longest time, I kept thinking that was his name. I'm thinking,
every time I see
we
that,
thought he was like actually Yngwie's brother or something. I think
because
I don't know why.
Because he's like the sweet picking, like Yngwie.
Whatever.
The first time I saw that was at your house, Jude. I never even knew they were. I went over and saw all that shit at your house.
I think it's probably like the last good album that they did. I mean, I think because I know the one Crack Brain that came out after that.
Oh god, yeah, because it got a different singer on Crack Brain. I didn't like it. It was a disappointment.
Yeah,
I'm glad they got Schmear back, but
everything
changed after Crack Brain.
We were in love with those guys in those first 3 records or so.
Yeah. I mean, they're like, I think even they made every one of my lists. I know they made the 84 list, the 85 list, so
yeah.
And then you have to always make the list, and yeah, that's my number. Destruction, you can never go wrong, man. I think they're the best German thrash band, I guess you could say. One of my favorite all-time thrash bands is for sure. And they got a new album coming out that sounds really good so far. I mean, the only thing I don't like about some of their newer stuff, I mean, I love it, but I don't know, there's something about that new guitar sound that's a little bit too processed sounding. It sounds a little bit too, like, it's heavy still, but it just sounds too modern, I guess. I don't know.
It doesn't sound like the old stuff.
No. Sounds too.
I can't believe Mike just walked out. He didn't say anything. He's just I'm done. You know, he didn't want to play it anymore.
So what about the drummers? The original guy, the new guy,
Mike, the other Mike, or Ollie,
or what was his name, Ollie or something like that?
That's the original is Ollie, I believe.
Yeah. And then who'd they get after that? Mike or something? Another Mike?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
But the guitar player, he just up and left.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Smear's pretty much probably the only original guy, and he's got a
yeah.
He seems like a cool guy. He's like, I see him off stage when he's talking to fans and things. He seems like he's kind of cool.
Yeah, the guitar player he has right now is pretty cool. Gary or Pete's been going to the Burning Witches show. He's married to the guitar player.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So he's always there at the show, and he's always hanging out with people.
Yeah.
Out there just talking to people and handing out some tickets and stuff like that. Yeah,
Gary's like, he's really into the Burning Witch. I love that band too. Like, I think they're great, Burning Witches, and they got some new music coming out, which sounds really good. That singer's like phenomenal. Like Gary, he gets to meet those girls every time. I say, hey, dude, I might have to use him as a contact to get them on my show.
Yeah, he has a pretty good rapport with them. Yeah.
Cool.
I'm gonna bring my oxygen tank to the next concert so I can get some pics.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Sorry. Get in with those and yep. What about you, Paul? Below number, I think we're on 8. As we go
number
down.
8 for me would be Malleus Maleficarum, which is Pestilence's album.
Oh,
Pestilence. This is when Martin Van Drunen was still in the band with them. He did the first 2 albums. Phenomenal voice, death metal voice. You know,
I forgot about those guys.
After that, Patrick Mameli took over vocals, the guitar player. But it's still good. I still love Pestilence. Still heavy as fuck, but his voice just isn't same as Martin's. But then Martin went and formed Asphyxia, and so we ended up with 2 great death metal bands out of that because Martin's band is awesome also.
Okay. Yeah.
But the Pestilence album, that one was really good, because that one came out before Consuming Impulse, and Consuming Impulse was a really strong album also. But that's when death metal was starting. I think they were like one of the first ones to come from Holland.
Okay.
And it's just like it's an awesome band. Heavy. I mean, like,
so is Pestilence still active as a band?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
I think they just toured with Possessed.
Okay.
Huh?
They just toured with Possessed on the East Coast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's who needs a new record is Possessed. I hope they don't wait another 30 years for another record.
And Patrick's guitar playing is amazing. He does a lot of weird stuff also on his, especially the newer stuff is really, really technical. Okay. I mean, for a death metal band, he's doing a lot of technical stuff.
Oh, damn. Aren't you friends with one of those guys, Jude? Like the guy from Possessed? Like,
yeah, Scoober. He goes by Claudius Creamer now. He was the guitar player in my band Girth in the 90s. Right.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And he deserves every bit of fame he gets. He's a shredder. He's amazing.
Yeah. So I need to use my contact to get him on my show then.
yeah. He's in Dragon Lord now too with Eric Peterson.
Yeah.
So he's doing Dragon Lord.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome. Dragon Lord's awesome if you never listened to him.
Yeah, I've heard him a long time ago when they came out.
He's on tour with Sadis.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Playing guitar.
Oh, I love Sadis. I'm a big Sadis fan. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I used to when Sadis used to play, opened up from years ago, and I hung out with Darren Travis. That guy was pretty cool. When I first started seeing Sadis, everybody was kind of like saying how much he's like kind of distance from people and stuff like that, but I hung out outside the Omni with him. It was a really chill guy, and that's when they were just coming back from touring with Unleashed and a couple other bands. And he was saying that Unleashed will wake them up in the morning, and they'll have the horn full of beer, and they're like, drink beer, drink. That's all they do 24/7 is just try to get everybody to drink.
It's cool. Amazing with Steve DiGiorgio, man. That dude's
that guy is
nice. What's your number 8, Kris?
All right, so I'll take a hiatus from the neoclassical fusion.
All right.
So this band, let's see if you guys can guess. I'll give you a hint.
All right.
I was like blown away when I first heard them because they're like a 3-piece.
Yeah.
And the bass player is so fucking awesome, and he's singing at the same time. I'm just like, how the fuck do you do that? I mean. Yeah. It's not Rush. It's somebody else. But, but here we go. Let's see if we can. I got this.
Okay. Border. Okay, cool. Oh yeah.
Shredders.
Punishment for Decadence. Yeah.
Yeah, this one was like, holy shit. When I first heard this, I was like, fuck it. I'm buying it. It's fucking insane.
Those are like 2 different. Yeah, I remember having this one too. I remember like really. I always loved.
So it's a different album cover, huh?
It's a different album cover, yeah. Than the one the one you have is the one I remember. That's one I think I used to have myself. And I was thinking that's why I wasn't sure if I listened to this one before, because I would have put it on my list if I would have known it was the same record. Because I remember liking them when they first came out and really being into them.
But yeah, I was like into the like super technical shit, and this was like super technical but heavy as fuck too, So it was kick ass. I was just like, oh my god, this is crazy.
Let's hear a little sample of Coroner.
Here we go.
Badass. So he kind of reminds me of like he kind of has a Tom Boyer kind of voice, but like this technical playing while he's singing. And
I'm just happy it wasn't Cookie Monster vocals, because that's my fucking biggest fucking pet peeve of fucking thrash.
Yeah. Like every song. Yeah, they're an amazing band. Are they still around? Are they active still, or?
I'm not sure.
They're not. They're not together anymore, but they still get together and do shows every now and then, but they're not actively recording.
Where were they from? Like, were they from a different country?
I think they were Swedish.
Yeah, I think so.
I thought they were Swedish, yeah.
There's something about Swedish bands, and like whether it's rock or metal or whatever, it's just like there's something about them that just
the kids are classically trained in school to play, piano or whatnot. So
there's got to be something in their food or their water just making them good songwriters, because every one of them can write a damn song. Even the pop bands write really good melodies. Like I wouldn't be into a pop band as a U.S. one, but if you hear it from Sweden or Finland or somewhere, it's like you just love the way it sounds.
Yeah.
Weird.
It's that Viking blood.
Yeah, something, man. It's like I used to think like maybe I need to move to Sweden to become a good songwriter to write good melodies.
Well, that's where melodic death metal came from, you know.
Yeah.
They take something so heavy and brutal and still put some great melodic leads in there. It's amazing.
What's cool about Finland, even to this day, like the Grammys over there, they actually recognize those bands. Like, Dimmu Borgir has a Grammy in those on all those award shows in Sweden and Switzerland and Norway, all that shit. Like,
Dimmu Borgir is actually coming here, I believe.
Oh yeah. They got some. Hopefully, they got some new stuff coming out. I think they got a new album they're working on, but I haven't heard them in a long time.
Yeah.
But Grammys here, it's like the rock. They can't even show the rock category on TV anymore. Like, it was like so sad. And the Grammy goes to you, but you won't see it because rock is, we'd rather give these Grammys to the lip syncers and the, remember back when Milli Vanilli got their whole career destroyed, they had to give their Grammys back for lip syncing, and now they're giving people Grammys for lip syncing. It's so fucking bizarre.
Times have changed.
Like, you killed yourself for no reason, dude.
I know, right? Yeah. He offed himself. And the guy Fab, I follow him on Instagram. The other guy that's alive, he's actually got a good voice. He's out there performing his own music now, and he still looks the same. He's a good looking guy. Like he looks like he's got to be at least 50 or more, but he still looks like he's in his 30s and shit.
Yeah, well, dude, I remember like after that shit came out, they tried to say, "Oh, we can really sing," and he got up there and he sang, and he's like, "Girl, you know it's true.
Oh yeah,
I love you."
Yeah.
I was like, "Dude, there's no fucking way you sang that shit."
True confession. Me and Aaron, we used to love that album. We had an album until we found out they were lip syncing. It was weird. I was into that, and I was into Bobby Brown and Paula Abdul. I remember buying those albums as a metalhead and thinking, I actually like this stuff,
Dude, I'm fucking out of here.
Yeah. He's like, I'm out of here. What the fuck show was it? I thought it was the metal block, man. That's a fucking pop block.
Uncovered at last.
Yeah, right. What's your number 8, Jude?
All right. Let's see. Operation
Mindcrime.
Woo!
Yeah.
One of my favorite records by them. Got the whole concept record thing going on.
Yeah.
Perfect record.
I was just jamming that the other day, and I was thinking it still, like, to this day holds up fresh. I mean,
so good.
Even though I played the shit out of that record when it came out, it's still like I'm not tired of it all. I mean, I can.
Yep.
That's their best. I don't know. I'm kind of with that in Empire, but
Empire's good.
Yeah.
I think Jeff Tate's based his whole identity off that record. It's like that's the name of his band now, and for it, and he's come up with several records that continue the story, I guess. And
I just read an article. He's actually he's talking about possibly doing an Operation Mindcrime 3, with his own band.
Yeah. I have the Mindcrime 2 tour I went to. I saw like a baseball jersey thing they made for it, but I just saw Jeff Tate in San Jose for like $30 or something, and it was fucking amazing. It was perfect. The fucking band he has now is exactly like Queensrÿche when they played perfectly, like in the 80s.
Yep.
I saw Queensrÿche with their new singer. They're good, but fucking Jeff Tate's voice was perfect.
Yeah.
The band played every note perfect. It was fucking awesome, dude. So
I've been watching those clips on YouTube lately of new stuff of Jeff Tate playing those full albums, and he does sound really good live.
It was incredible.
I was thinking, like, wonder if he's using backing tracks, but he's not. He's actually, because there was a time like about 4 years ago, you'd hear Jeff Tate on some of those clips, and he was like off key. And
Yeah. No, even like before Queensrÿche broke up with him, I went to their shows, and they had, I think it was like his daughter's fucking husband playing guitar. He fucked up like every solo. I was like, dude, get that guy out of the fucking band, dude. You gotta get somebody really good.
And then Chris DeGarmo, he just went off the map. The guy's just off the grid. I think he's a pilot now, and he's just doing music. But he was one of the biggest talents of that band. When he left, just when Queensrÿche's music started kind of shifting. But I feel good. I mean, I like what Tyler Torrey's doing now with the band, especially the last Queensrÿche album is just phenomenal. I think he's finally got he's found his place in Queensrÿche to where they actually sound good. Yeah, like for a while, the first 3 albums with Tyler Torrey, the problem with them is like they sound good at classic Queensrÿche, but there's nothing memorable about it. Like you'd listen to the record and you kind of can't remember the songs. Whereas like that last album they put out, like I can still remember some of the songs. Like these, just like Mindcrime, you have those songs that still stick in your head. And so I think he's doing his thing. He's probably been in the band just as long as Jeff Tate or longer since. So I guess maybe not, but close to it. But Jeff Tate needs to come out with like a new record, and hopefully he does do Operation 3, and if it's good. I know Operation 2 wasn't that good other than Dio singing on it, this song. That was kind of cool.
Queensrÿche was the first band I ever saw with Kiss.
Oh, okay.
85 or something like that.
Yeah. I was lucky to be able to see him on the Operation Mindcrime tour when they opened up for Metallica with.
Man, that was
did you see him in Fresno?
Yeah, Fresno. Yep.
Yeah,
we were at the same show. That's when I heard them, and I said, "Fuck!" I thought they blew Metallica away because they played perfect, dude.
Yeah, me too. Like just like hearing the record, I was like,
wow. Then Metallica got up there and they they were obviously drunk and they fucked up every solo.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Because we copied all the Metallica songs, so I knew every fucking note. I was like, dude, you're fucking up.
Yeah, I was hearing those bad notes every now and then, but it was raw.
Did you remember driving us to that show, Fresno?
Not really.
You had your bus. You had You had your bus, and then all of us loaded up in your bus and went.
Yeah. Did I go with you guys, or did we go separately?
You were with us.
Yeah. Remember, we were like looking across where we see Tiffany, and we're like, "Oh,
you were hiding from Tiffany."
Yeah, my ex girlfriend with the bleach blonde hair, the fucking.
Oh, you went out with Tiffany?
Yeah, Tiffany.
She was cool. I liked her.
Yeah, she was cool. She was one of my first kind of serious girlfriends, I guess you could say, when I got out of high school. But she started, she was dealing cocaine behind my back.
Oh yeah, dude. I went over her house when I was like 16 or something. I met her at the lake one day.
Yeah.
I ended up over her house, and then she's like selling weed out of her house and shit.
Yeah.
She had like a fucking big old fucking owl as a pet.
Yes, the owl.
That owl was the owl. We caught that owl in her garage, and I remember like Paul would sleep over. We had a bunch of guys sleep over, and that owl would attack Paul. He would always just fly off the refrigerator and just
dude. He sat there and just looked at me and Jimmy, and all of a sudden it just took off for us.
Yeah, he had a thing for Paul. We had a squirrel. I remember her and I caught a squirrel, and we kept that for a little while. Yeah, we were together for a while, and then she found out I was cheating on her or whatever when we broke up, and then I cheated on her. Well, you can't cheat if you're like broken up, but I lied when we got back together. I lied to her and said, "Oh no, I wasn't with anybody." But then she found out. The girl I was with actually told her that we were together, and then me and Paul. I know, were you with us, Paul, or was just me and Jimmy and Tony in my car? We get back from fishing. And there's Tiffany with his hammer fucking smashing my windows.
Yeah.
We get out of the car, we're running and shit. I'm running all of Jimmy's apartment complex. I'm like running scared because she's chasing me with this hammer. You motherfucker, you said that you were this.
Oh shit. I remember Matt Wright was afraid of her.
Yeah.
That poor Ford.
Yeah. And then like a year after we broke up, like I ran into her over by Aaron's house, and she'd come up to me, so yeah, we'd really like us to try again, get back together. I look down, she's got an ankle monitor on because I guess she got arrested for drug dealing. And I'm like, yeah, it's cool, but I'm already with somebody, and so I'm just like, see you later.
Wow, she was crazy, dude. So I remember we were on Main Street one night, and then she saw me, and
That's where I met her actually on Main Street.
And then we were in the back of Joe Lorenco's pickup truck.
Oh, yeah.
And she came and she jumped in with us, and then we were going down the fucking road, and she's like flashing everybody with her tits.
Yeah. That's what she did with us. That's how I met her. Like she got in our Pinto and was like, and we were like, yeah, she's like Lita Ford, man. She's like the Lita Ford of metal, or metal chick of Atwater.
Yeah, dude. When I went to college in LA, right, and I was at some fucking like house party out in like East LA or something. There was like fucking awesome metal bands playing and shit. I started talking to people, and they all fucking knew who she was.
Yeah.
I was like, look, she gets around.
She had a rep, man. She had a rep. Yeah.
I don't know if it's true. She told me that like she took bass lessons from Billy Sheehan and shit.
Yeah, she told me that too. Yeah, because she came from LA, and matter of fact, she took me to Hollywood before we ever moved there. She took me there just to visit, and that was my first time ever being there. And she knew everybody. I remember Blackie Lawless walked by me. She said, "There's Blackie," and I was scared. Like, holy shit, he's fucking tall, man. I was too scared to talk to him. But she's the one that introduced us to like a lot of those bands. Like she got home and out Merced, and she had all these flyers from like the Zeros and all these bands, or like Creature. That and this was like about 2 years before we moved to LA, and so we already knew who a lot of those bands were. Like Tough, it had the singer of Nitro in Tough at that time. It was before the new guy that they had after that, but Tony still has all those flyers because she gave Tony a bunch of those flyers, and I think Tony still has them. We were at her house, and she had all of her records. Like she introduced to that band Wrathchild, and it had the hair spiked out and the makeup on from the UK.
Stack Attack.
Yeah, Stack Attack. So me and Tony were just fell in love with her collection of records and flyers. Like, holy shit, this fucking chick's badass. And
she was cool, man. I wonder what she's doing now.
Yeah. I should look her up, but I can't remember how to spell her last name. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, good times, man. What about you, Jude? Were we still on number 8?
I just went. It's you now.
Oh yeah, it's me. Yeah. And Justice for All is number 8. Yeah, it's a good record. It's like it's on my favorite Metallica record. But I wish it had bass on it.
Definitely.
I see a bass player there, but I don't hear a bass player.
Yeah. Turn way down.
I just don't hear one.
The production was a disappointment.
I was waiting for Lars to say the April Fools. We get your bass right here.
But, think how much money they could make if they.
They have a remaster of it.
I think what I like most about this album is the album cover, just the way that it looks, just the colors of the logo, and because the songs are good. I mean, they kind of get a little boring after a while because it's all kind of almost the same kind of riffing and stuff, except for Blackened. But it's like that.
Yeah, Blackened was probably the best one.
Yeah, kind of slow, like every song kind of has that same kind of rhythm.
But the stage show was cool.
The stage show was cool.
All the shit falling apart.
Yeah,
the statue crumbling. And
my first time ever seeing Metallica was on this tour, so it definitely holds a special place in my heart just for that. That's why I got to put it on my list.
Yeah, that one's probably one of my honorable mentions as well. So I'll throw it out there.
That's good. That's an honorable mention.
I remember that album is like the last thing I heard in Merced before I took off to college, I think.
Oh yeah, where'd you go to college at?
I went to DeVry in LA.
Oh yeah, what'd you go to college for? Like music?
Electronics.
Electronics. Okay, cool. Oh yeah, DeVry is electronics. I used to see those commercials.
Yeah, back in the day.
Did you end up working at Radio Shack after that, or what?
No, I ended up working on fucking scanning electron microscopes of all things.
Nice. Oh, damn. Yeah, so you went way up there. When I think of electronics, I think of Radio Shack back in the day.
Academy of the Month Club.
I didn't go to fucking college to work at Radio Shack. I could have stayed in fucking Atwater for that.
Yeah, right.
That's funny. Actually, Jude, I remember I was over at your house and you fucking knew a bunch of shit about electronics. Like you made a headphone amp and shit. I was like, fuck, he was always like, knows this shit.
Yeah, he always had shit going on in his garage and finish.
He's always tinkering, trying to like build some shit or my dad would always give me those like Radio Shack like kits, you could like build the wiring and all that kind of stuff.
I can never do any of that. Like to this day, I can't even put my own strings on my guitar. I still have to take my guitar into a place to get my strings changed. Well, because I have that Jackson back there, that Jackson with the Floyd Rose 2 tremolo and locking it. There's no way I'm going to change those.
It's a pain in the ass to fucking set up.
Yeah, so I take it in, pay $35 and get it back. And it feels nice and fresh and new. And I suck at.
Yeah, I get the tuning block.
I bought this new pedal from Zoom. This is called a.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
Yeah, it's just I can't figure out how to work it. So
multi pedal.
Like, you should have went to engineering school and then you know how to work your pedal.
Yeah, I should have. It's just like this stuff never just interests me. I just want to pick up the guitar, play the shit out of it, and fuck whatever technology comes out of it. But I'll eventually toy around with it and figure out the sounds I like on it. But
I have a double stack pedal board, and then I have 2 effects processors.
Yeah,
and I barely know how to use them. It's just
I wish I had my RP2000 because that was easy to use and it had a lot of cool. It had a sound I liked on it. I want to find an RP2000.
I have a G7 processor, and then I have a what you call it. My brain is like not working. Oh, DC electronics processor.
Okay.
And I kind of generally go through there and just do something simple that I can remember and program it, but it could do like tons more stuff, but it's too technical for me.
Yeah.
You need to have the fucking manual mounted right next to it so you know what buttons to press.
Yeah. And you press the wrong one and it's all gone. I used to have the Line 6 pod that did the same thing. It's just a little thing that I would just plug into a PA or amp, but you have to go on the computer and do all your settings and all that. It was just so complex.
I just stick to the presets. Whatever, if it sounds good, I'm going to stick to that. That's why my amps, my little Fender Maverick amp has got the presets I like, and I don't want to change amps because I'm afraid I won't be able to find those same sounds. And it's like I'm just going to keep that.
Chris, I actually gave it to Patrick. That's what he's using on his amp.
Nice. What's your number 7, Paul?
My number 7 is Punishment for Decadence.
Oh shit, that's the corner one, right?
That's the corner one. Yep. I saw them when they came and toured with R.I.P. the first album, which was a great album.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. Seeing a 3-piece band able to be that heavy, and then the vocalists, it was just awesome. And then this symbol right here, Jude, you remember you painted that on one of my leather jackets?
Oh,
I still have it.
Oh yeah,
I still have that jacket. Yeah,
corner
that symbol painted on it.
Is that one with the little, looks like a kind of a goat head or like a
I don't know what happened to my leather jacket that I painted all the shit on. I lost it at some point.
Yeah. Yeah, my son for Halloween actually dressed up as me. He had my leather jacket, had like my neck crop long sleeve shirt on it.
Oh yeah.
And he dressed up as me for Halloween, so it was funny.
Oh, nice.
Did he put his shoes on his knees?
Gotta get the height down, right? What about you, Chris? Number 7 for Kris.
Oh shit.
AKA Snark.
All right. So I know you got this cover. I just saw it, but Suicidal Tendencies, How Will I Laugh Tomorrow?
Oh yeah. Let me pull it.
This one,
I love that album.
The fucking Rocky George, this is like they already crossed over before, like joined the army and stuff, kind of. But this one, like Rocky George's solos are fucking classic thrash. Fucking, it's kind of like fucking Alex Skolnick's in the band or something. The solos are so fucking good on this. Crazy. I don't know if you guys ever noticed though, like if you listen to this on a decent stereo or even headphones these days, but I didn't notice it back in the day, but like halfway through the song, the whole thing, you just hear this.
Oh yeah,
the whole fucking track. If you listen to it, you'll hear this. Somebody fucked up on the recording. I don't know what they did, but I can't believe that made it on the album. It's so annoying.
Let's just leave it on there, right? I just
he plays for Chromags now.
Yeah, does he?
Yeah.
Oh, he does.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who was a guitar player that always wears a pitchfork or pirate's hat? What's his name again? The guitar player.
Rocky George.
Rocky George, right? Yeah. Doesn't he have? So does he have another band or something? Or
he's in Chromags.
That's what we were just talking about, bro.
Yeah. Okay.
Chromags on that dancing tour.
Yeah, I thought there was like another guy from Suicidal. I thought there was another guy that's in Suicidal was playing in some death metal band. I forgot what their name is called.
Well, the bass player's in Metallica.
What's the one band called the Derringer Project?
Yeah, the bass player's Metallica. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the bass player. Yeah, which is he opened
Robert
up for
Trujillo.
Yeah, he opened up for Will O Wisp. But I like to say back in the 2000 something, we headlined the Whiskey, and it was Infectious Grooves played at 8:00. Leonard Skinner's Johnny Van Zant, but he wasn't called Leonard Skinner at the time. It was Johnny Van Zant. He played around 9:00 because what happened was we were headlining the Whiskey for the first time. We had to sell tickets, but no other local band wanted to sell. They wanted to do the pay to play, so. The last minute, the Whiskey's like panicking. We need other bands on the bill. So I guess those bands were coming into town on tour, and it was like one of their stops. So like they just got Infectious Grooves to show up at 8 and Johnny Van Zandt at 9. We didn't meet those guys, but we met Johnny, and he was actually super cool. He's like, he saw us with our makeup on. He's like, "Oh, you guys are cool, man. You like Kiss, man, with like Kiss makeup." And it's like, you're like, "Yeah, thanks, Johnny." Like, there's other bands that don't that wear makeup that ain't Kiss, It's like. But it was kind of I always like to say, Leonard Skinner opened up for Will O Wisp and Infectious Grooves. But yeah, Robert Trujillo was in the band at that time, and I think Mike Muir was the singer. It was like their side project or some shit.
Funky.
Yeah, it was a pretty cool little thing. It was weird billing, but glad it worked out the way it did. But yeah, I did get that record on not too long ago on vinyl. I finally got that. Because that's the one that has a Pepsi song on it, right? Everyone always jokes about him.
No.
Is that the one that came out after or something?
The Pepsi song, that's on the first record.
Oh, okay. So this is like the one, yeah. But Suicidal Tendencies.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah. What's your number 7, Jude?
7. Slayer.
Oh yeah, it's South of Heaven. That was going to be my honorable mention there. I was almost going to make it on the thing, but I just love Rain and Blood more, but South of Heaven.
Yeah, it wasn't not quite as good as Rain and Blood, not up to those standards, but decent record.
So classic. Who's a drummer on that one? Was that they still have Dave Lombardo on that one?
That's still Dave Lombardo, yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
It's kind of weird though, because like didn't it seem like Tom Araya's vocal style shifted where he wasn't screaming as much? He kind of like, oh, it sounded like he'd been listening to The Cure or something.
Oh yeah, maybe it was
in touch with his emotional side or something.
Yeah.
Started trying out some like cleaner vocals and but it's a good record. I like it.
Yeah, Slayer, South of Heaven, and my number 7 is Living Colors, Vivid. So I remember when this came out, and I was like, wow, these guys are some pretty crazy. And I remember just listening to this record over and over a lot. Fell in love with Vernon Reed's as a player, as a guitar player.
A little bit of a shredder.
Yeah, it was like, but he was kind of like, because so I always had the way of picking like this, and I could never like do that intricate type of picking like other people, because they pick like this, whereas my hand's like upside down. And when I saw Vernon Reed doing his picking hand, I was like, wow, I'm not alone, So, here we go.
The few moments that we have left, we want to talk right down to earth in a language that everybody here can easily understand.
But that riff is so cool too, and it's like I said, and then that solo he did it was just like, it's just, I love sloppy playing. I like.
I'm gonna say,
like really energetic and sloppy. But you hear him now do that solo, he's like totally not even as good as he used to be. But I mean, he's still good. But I love a chaotic sounding, energetic solos like that, and it's like it just blew my mind.
That song's fun to play. Actually, I goof off with it quite a bit.
Like
I think he just made up the solo. It's not even a scale or anything. He's just fucking playing really fast.
And he probably never plays the same thing ever, like twice. And I've always been that kind of guitar player myself. Like if I never write my solo, I just improvise, and I there's certain key parts that I might keep, but I'm never gonna play the same thing twice, because for one, I just can't, because it just feels mechanical if I were to just like write out the solo like I would write out a song. But the only time I did a solo where I actually wrote it out was when I did a cover with these guys recently, the Tina Turner song from the Mad Max movie. But I remember like I wrote out the solo, and it was like I'm sitting there painstakingly trying to remember everything I did, and it was like, but it felt good. But I was like, wow, this is the first solo I actually composed, instead of just
on Thunderdome.
Yeah, right.
Speaking of solo, do you guys see that video I sent?
One of the Living, that's the name of the song. Yeah.
Kerry King covering Killers, and
he
did one of the solos.
Oh yeah, he's another one that just plays like just anything and everywhere. like he doesn't even know any scales. I don't think he just like everything's chromatic. But good, it's made his style.
We're gonna have to change to a top 5 list, dude.
Dude, this is gonna be like a 6-hour video.
I know.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I figured it'd probably be about 2.
Lucky Mike didn't show up, or it'd be even longer.
Yeah. I figured it'd be about 2 hours show. Paul, number 6.
Number 6 for me, that would be Danzig. The Danzig album.
Oh yeah,
that was a great album, man. Just different than everybody.
I think I liked it. I don't think I ever heard the whole thing. Like I remember.
Really? Yeah, it's a good album. I mean,
that with Mother? Or?
Yeah, Mother, Twisted King.
Record.
Yeah.
I mean, that Twisted King is just freaking awesome.
Oh yeah, that's kick-ass too.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and buy that record then.
Simple but heavy.
It's like clean but really heavy. It was a different sound than everybody else.
Yeah, Rick Rubin continuing his the stripped down recording style, like kind of like what he did with Slayer, which like really bare bones, like no frills, just see what.
Yeah, it was good, and then I got to see him live, and John Christ was still in the band and all that, and.
What was the difference between Danzig music and his Sam Hain music? What was the difference there? Was it like
Sam Hain was more like death rock? It was real.
Okay.
A little more gothic and more horror.
I really don't think I've ever heard one Sam Hain song since they've been out. If I think about it,
Danzig's a lot cleaner.
Yeah,
put on amazing shows. Corrosion of Conformity.
Okay,
it was a good show.
And Screaming Trees.
Screaming Trees. Oh yeah.
That's who opened up.
Oh yeah, I remember Screaming Trees.
Fresno.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good band. Oh. Number 6, Kris.
Oh, my turn. Well,
as we move along.
All right, this will be my last time fucking doing it, but I have to fucking go neoclassical again.
Neoclassical, here we go.
Another Mike Barney shredder.
Yeah.
Probably my favorite of all time, though, but Jason Becker, Perpetual Burn.
There we go.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's got that disease he's dealing with now, and he's still still alive, and he's still doing. I think he's
still writing music.
He's doing some music.
He writes music with his eyes and shit.
Yeah, he's got some kind of new technology that they helped him with, and he writes with his eyes.
I think everybody should. There's a bunch of people with ALS, and like him and his dad, I guess, came up with that system of just moving his eyes, and they can read, they can make letters and shit with his eyes. So
that's amazing, right?
But yeah, he put out a pretty cool album, like with a bunch of other guest musicians, like Steve Vai and all those guys fucking playing the guitar stuff he wrote. It's pretty badass. I can't remember the name of it. He's got something like with the Earth on it or something on the album cover.
Then he eventually did a David Lee Roth record, right?
That was like, so he got like, I guess he finished the recording for that album, and he started getting ALS. He said he started feeling weakness in his hands and shit.
Yeah.
And then he couldn't do the tour, so I forgot who they got to do the tour. Somebody good, obviously, but kind of underrated album. But he didn't really shred on it that much. It was okay. It was nothing like he did there. But David Lee Roth always had a badass guitarist. So I think if he would have not got ALS, everybody would have known who he was a lot more than just us, shredder lovers and stuff.
There's a documentary out on him that I've been meaning to watch, and
Not Dead Yet. It's really good.
Yeah, I need to put that on my list to watch.
So I was friends with this dude at work, and I can't remember the other guy's name he's friends with, but he actually knows Jason Becker. He goes up, he transcribed all of his music for him.
Oh yeah, oh damn.
So, nice. And I actually went up. He played it. I think up in Livermore there was like a benefit for him. And I went to that. I met him there, but of course he couldn't talk to me. He just like looked at me. And I just went up, "Hey, you're fucking awesome,"
Yeah. Nice.
How worthy.
Yeah.
But he has like a fucking breathing tube and all. Like he's just sitting in the wheelchair like this. So it's kind of fucked up to see him like that. But
so he's kind of like Stephen Hawking. Yeah. He's kind of like Stephen Hawking. Did Stephen Hawking have ALS or something?
Exactly. Yeah. Same thing. Yeah. So all he can do is move his eyes around and shit. He can't do it.
But at least he's able to still continue with his gift, despite the circumstances. I think you're frozen up there, Kris. But
all right.
While he's unfreezing, I'll just play a little sample. Crazy good.
That's bad.
Yeah, that was crazy good right there. I don't think
you're the one that you're the one that have good internet, and then your whole thing fucks up.
It's like. Yeah, what about Jude, number 6?
Okay, now we're gonna go into some industrial Ministry, the land of rape and honey.
Yeah,
this is a good record. This is when I started getting into like industrial stuff, like Ministry, Skinny Puppy, 9 Inch Nails, all that.
You're the one that turned me on to Ministry. I remember when you played Thieves. Record,
so heavy, man, with like the Stigmata.
Yeah,
it's a good track.
Yeah, I remember like you turned me on to that because I was like, when I heard Thieves for the first time, you played it like, I heard that.
Yeah, that you hear that drum machine. It's just crazy. It's like so heavy.
And then I remember like later on discovering the Ministry when they were pop or whatever, like every day is Halloween song. This is the same band. Like, but I like that too. I also like that.
I didn't know a drum machine could be so heavy.
Yeah, right. It's a little nice, right? Yeah. Now were they around before 9 Inch Nails, right? Like Ministry was like doing that before Trent Reznor came out with that Pretty Hate Machine, right? I would imagine.
Yeah, I can't remember the exact dates of it all, but it was all around the same time. Yeah,
about the same time. Yeah, because they say like Trent's the pioneer of that industrial sound, but I think Ministry, Pigface, and those kind of bands would be more.
Yeah. A lot of them they all kind of work together and stuff too.
Yeah. Well, my number 6 is Yngwie's Odyssey. I told you I'm an Yngwie fan, so I had to put Yngwie on my. You know, I love the Jolene Turner vocals on it. I love all the songs. Definitely, this was probably after he got out of his car accident, and he had to kind of relearn how to play. I think it might have been around this time. I remember his style sort of sounded like it wasn't as clean as he usually was on like Trilogy, and but I remember still liking it because again, I like that kind of rawness. I like when a guitar player is a little bit raw and off. Like, you know, that's why I like Blackmore a lot because when you hear his solos, they're not super precise, but they're just the energy is what comes through. And because to me, if something's too clean and too precise, it's just I lose it after a while. I'm like, that's kind of boring. You know, it's like okay, sounds like kind of mathematical. I like to hear something that's like, you know, just coming straight from the soul, straight from the freaking like that person's pissed off that day, or maybe they're going through some sadness that day, and it's coming through their guitar playing or their vocals or whatever. That's what I like.
Must not like Lamb of God, huh?
Lamb of God, yeah, I can't get into them for them. You know, I tried to. I bought their last album before last or whatever, and yeah, I mean, I liked them when I first heard them. I remember like about 4 or 5 years ago, I first heard them, and
I don't like that guy's voice.
Yeah, his voice is a little like, you know, it's like I don't know. It's just to me.
That's the loudest band I've seen live. I saw him at the
I saw him with Megadeth
at the Oracle Arena in Oakland. They opened up for Megadeth.
Yeah,
Overkill and Opeth also played that show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember that.
And
that's the tour I saw.
They were so freaking loud, man.
Mm-hmm. I thought I would like them more if I saw them live, but then I bought that record and I was like, oh, it's all right.
It's hard to get into it. They're really polished, and then his vocals does get to you after a couple songs.
I mean, I'm not going to give up on them. I don't imagine maybe 2 or 3 records down the line I might check. I'm always going to check in on them to say, oh, maybe this will be better. There's just nothing that it just to me it sounds like run of the mill, you know. And there's nothing. But then again, I get to listen to their other stuff too. But just the record I bought wasn't that. I was like, okay, nothing memorable for me. But I like the album cover. I mean, I want to like them, and maybe eventually I will. There's some bands that I didn't like 2 years ago, but I like them now. You know, it just all depends on where they're at.
They make the best shirt.
Yeah, they cool shirt. Cool.
They released a compilation album under Burn the Priest. That was cool. You know, it's got some Ministry songs on there, and got some Radical songs on there. It's pretty awesome.
And every time the singer goes out,
got my joke.
Yeah. What's that?
I said when they make the best shirt.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus is a.
Yeah. Jesus.
Only person I saw actually wear it was Roy. So.
Yeah.
Everybody else got kicked.
We got kicked out of the bar because of that shirt. Almost got into a fight that night.
They have a shirt like that.
Roy's like, we didn't start it. No, but your shirt did.
You're talking about is that like the Cradle of Filth shirt, like the Jesus?
Yeah, Jesus is a. That was the Cradle shirt that we got kicked out of.
Oh yeah. Tony almost got his ass kicked a few times wearing that shirt around. That's why I gave you my shirt, Paul. I was like, I'm not wearing this. I will give it to Paul. my Jesus is a cunt shirt.
I have the one where the nun is masturbating with a crucifix, but I didn't have the big white letters in the back that say Jesus.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So we're number 6, right?
I think we finally passed the threshold. We're still on number 6.
Well, like
after he finishes. Oh, all right.
That album. That was a great album.
Yeah, I was just jamming this the other night too, and unfortunately, I would have got to see him in concert a couple of weeks ago, but unfortunately, he canceled. You know, I was so excited because I saw him before, like in 2019, but I really wanted to see him this year because Mjorker, one of my favorite musicians and singers, songwriter, chicks, or whatever, she was playing with King Diamond. She's doing backing vocals and keyboards, and then he finally released a new song, Spider Lily. We're still waiting for a full record. You know,
here's a side trivia for Merker. You ever seen that video? It was like the Lonely Island, you know, Saturday Night Live for Captain Jack Sparrow.
Yeah.
she's in that.
Is she? Okay. Yeah.
She's like the blonde girl in that video.
Yeah, I know she used to do some acting and modeling back in the day. Yeah. She was also in a band called X Cops, which is like a pop kind of band, and that's why a lot of people were giving her shit about being black metal or whatever. Like, oh, she's a poser, and it's like, no, she's just, you know, she came from a pop background, But that's why she could write those
badass.
great melodies and shit. I mean, just her melodies are phenomenal, and she incorporates that into like the black metal type of sound, which to me, I think she's kind of moving a little bit more away from that black metal sound, but it still sounds cool though, you know. So she's just super talented. I mean, she sings, plays guitar, plays all these different instruments and
Piano,
song, and then she writes all of her music. I mean, just her voice is phenomenal.
I love her.
Yeah, I want to meet her one day and get her on my show. It's like, come on, America.
I got an Andy LaRocque guitar pick still.
I know, right?
What do you say, Paul?
She did vocals on that new Diamond song, right? Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, she did vocals on a new Spider Lily song.
Yeah.
So I'm opening for a new King Diamond record. I know he's been, like I said, he released that one song 2019, and he just released a new song.
Well, supposedly he's going to release Merciful Fate and Diamond at the same time.
Yeah, that's right.
And then we plan on trying to tour both bands together.
So 2025.
That would be an awesome show. They both tour together.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So
yeah, that would be freaking killer, man.
I don't know if he could do it though, because he's getting old. He's getting up there. He's gonna have to like, do two.
Yeah, it still sounds amazing though.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw him last year. We saw him, or this year? Last year, right? November.
Did you go with us on that show, Jude?
No, I didn't go to that one.
It was in second.
Oh, Merciful Fate. Yeah.
That's what I meant.
Yeah, lucky I found a good YouTube clip of the full concert of his recent concert on YouTube. I watched that, so I was able to at least see King Diamond that way. But he canceled before he came to Portland. He canceled in Calgary, and I was like, he better not cancel Portland. Oh, he canceled Portland. Fuck. No explanation. Just said we're canceling. We're sorry, and no. We'll be back. But then he goes and plays Frisco, and right afterwards. Yeah. What's your number 5, Paul? We're down into the top 5. We're gonna move along here.
Number 5 is Operation Mindcrime.
Oh yeah, so you got that on there. So that's a super operation.
I listened to that album so much. To this day, I still listen to the album.
Yeah,
I mean, it's an amazing album.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It just puts me in a good mood every time I listen to that album.
Storyline.
It's just amazing. Like, how is that possible to record something so awesome as that back then?
Yeah.
Jeff Tate's voice, range on it, and guitar playing. I mean, it's just an amazing album.
I still don't understand the full storyline, but I mean, you get
it's a killer concept.
As far as the characters go, like
didn't care much for the follow-up album. I hope the number 3 is better.
Yeah, I tried to get into it, but
it's I thought you meant Empire. I was like, shit.
No, Operation 2. Yeah.
Operation 2, was not good.
Yeah.
If he does do a part 3, hopefully that'll be better, but we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great concept album. I mean, just like, King Diamond just writes amazing concept albums.
Yeah, I mean, both of
stories on that is just amazing. Also,
like King Diamond needs some movie director needs to come and take King Diamond's stories and make it like a Netflix series of kind of like I would love to see like a Tales of the Crypt type show where King Diamond hosts it. Like, here's a story about a grandma, and then just like have like these cool little like episodes, and that would be, I don't know why they haven't done that. It seemed like a no brainer. And then like with Operation Mindcrime, that could be definitely like a Broadway show. I know he's been asked about it already. Yeah, well, I think he's been asked about it, but he said he just doesn't think it needs to be done a certain way and all that other stuff. What are you doing, Tamara? But so that was your number 5 was Operation. What's your number 5, Kris?
Got to rehash it, but I actually have the tape, so I'll show it.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, cool.
I got to highlight the fucking guitars because that was I mean, obviously King Diamond's got the kick-ass voice, but the guitars in that, when I saw like Andy LaRocque and what's the guy's name? I can't remember, the blonde-headed dude.
Yep.
On the video for that, it was like, holy fuck! I'm like, they sold their soul to the devil. There's no way they can play that good.
Yeah, no, right? Oh, good. Yeah,
it's awesome. So that's what I meant. Like, this is like a melding of the fucking shredders with a metal band that actually sounds good together.
Yeah, they're very melodic, those solos, and the way they harmonize together. Who's the other guitar player? Was Andy LaRocque, and the other guy was
I can't fucking remember.
Yeah, because I know the guy they have now, I think he also played in Merciful Fate, but they have Andy LaRocque and then the other guy that played in Merciful Fate.
But I still got my guitar pick from the first. I think, Paul, you went to that show with me and Scott, right?
Yeah.
I fell down the stairs and shit.
Oh, yeah. Were you drinking?
Black was the other guitar player on that record.
Me and Scott were fucking wrestling, and we fucking fell down the stairs. And then this dude, I guess the bouncer there, thought we were really fighting because we were fucking around. And we're like, oh, yeah, we're best friends. We're just fucking around. He's like, okay.
That was an amazing show. Yeah.
Number 5, Jude.
My number 5 is Bathory.
Oh,
Blood, Fire, and Death.
Yeah.
Because he had to go and create an entire genre for himself, Viking metal.
Yeah.
Yep.
Rules.
Yeah. In fact, that's like
it's a good have that as an honorable mention. That's a great album too.
That was a brilliant. That to me, it's like one of my favorite, especially the song. Matter of fact, I think I pulled it up here real quick. This is my favorite. For all those who died.
Good old Bat Horde.
Yeah, rat lord and bat horde as people call it. And no surprise, that was my number 5 as well. So we got tight on that. Fun fact about this, Will-O-Wisp, you're wearing the t-shirt. We got to do a cover of the Golden Walls of Heaven on the Bathory's tribute album, the Hordes of Bathory or whatever it's called. I think it was Bathory's girlfriend reached out to a bunch of bands, and I think she gave us like $300 for the recording to help with the recording, whatever. And I wanted to do Raise the Dead, but some other band beat us to it. But then so then they limited it. I think it was like 1,000 copies on vinyl. You can get them on Discogs right now.
I still need to get one of those.
Yeah, there's a yellow and because the double LP is yellow and blue. And
so since you play on it, did they give you the album for free?
Yeah, they sent a couple of copies or so. I had to buy mine on Discog too. I lost all my shit when I moved from LA to here, but I bought my copy on Discogs, and I still have it. And I should have showed it, but I try to find like people that post it online on YouTube, but there's no like recordings of it on YouTube or nothing. I was gonna do it myself. I just got one of those USBs that transferred vinyl to digital, and maybe I'll put that up there eventually. But we did that song, and I remember just my idea was to capture Corlon's guitar style and on the solo. He does a lot of solos in that song, but I remember I did a bunch of them too. But I think the guy that produced it was the guy from Legs Diamond, Roger, and I think he cut out some of the solos. I think he thought maybe I was just tracking or whatever, like because I don't think he wasn't familiar with Bathory whatsoever. But we just but he was a good friend of ours. So we was like, yeah, you got a studio. But he must have cut out the solos thinking like they were just junk or whatever, But no, those were supposed to be part of the song. Got the main one in there at least, But so that's Bathory, Blood, Fire, Death. Me and Jude both had it at number 5. Yeah.
Solid.
Yeah. What's your number 4, Paul?
We're number 4?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was number 3.
Yeah, we're on 4 now.
My number 4 is Blood, Fire, Death.
Oh, so
all right. Keep it going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like the 2 contenders are Operation Mindcrime and Bathory. The album of '88 so far.
Bathory was like, it's always going to be one of my top bands. I mean, I love the underground sound. The backstory on his recording is pretty cool.
Me too.
Or, he's in his garage doing it. And it's trying to get quiet, and his neighbor's outside mowing the lawn and trying not to get that sound into his microphone.
Adds to it.
Yeah, he's got some pretty cool stories.
Like to this day, like he's one of the guys. I'll always say that. Like I'll listen to like a lot of like badly produced albums and just not really like it or whatever. But for some reason, it just sounds so good. Like there's something that he's doing, and it's got to be his energy that he's put into whatever he's doing.
We always joked around because it always says the album was produced by Bathory and the boss.
Yeah,
we always joke around. Who's the boss? Satan.
Yeah, we
turns out the boss is his dad that owns the label. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Son, I'm gonna be your record label, and you're gonna give me half the royalties.
Yeah.
Brilliant guy. And then all of a sudden he just shifted from. They say this was like one of the first. This was like the beginning of Viking metal, right?
Yep, for sure.
Because the next album he got even more Viking sound, and then he released those albums sort of in the '90s. It sounded kind of like it was okay, but there wasn't like it wasn't nothing.
The alternative stuff that he did under Fourth on. Ooh, that's not so good.
Not so good, right? He's trying to
just ignore that. It's like Cherry Orchard, man.
Yeah, right. He got bit by the Tom Warrior bug. What's your number 4, Kris?
Okay, I don't have the actual album, but it's the continuation of this one. You can put the actual one up afterwards.
Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah.
Halloween.
This is part 1. Yeah. Part 2 came out in '88. So
I'm almost going to do that too. I was thinking part 2 was the one that you just held up. I was going to put that on my list, and I was like, wait, because that's the one I have on vinyl, but I don't have this one on vinyl. But I remember this one being a good album.
Yeah, no, both of these albums were killer. So I mean, they're always known as the mini Iron Maiden. So
yeah, I mean, they're like I'm not big on power metal, but they're good because they're like.
So I never saw them back in the day, but actually I went with Paul. We saw them in Frisco like a year or 2 ago, maybe.
Yeah, last year. Yeah,
and it was fucking awesome.
Yeah,
and they had and they had like 3 different singers from all the genres. And they fucking killed it. And like the guitars are still everybody just kicks ass. It was an awesome show.
Even their last studio album they put out a couple of years ago. And it's so
their last album was fucking great, dude. I fucking was like, oh my god, it's perfect.
Yeah. I mean, the melodies are beautiful melodies. I mean, it's just a great band. I still got to watch that concert they put on YouTube. It's the Live at Budokan. It's pro shot and everything, and 2 hours long. So I'm going to watch that because that's probably the show that you guys or the tour that you guys saw last year. And they got the original singer, but he's bald now. The guy that was in the Halloween video with the blonde hair, and he's all bald now. And
I'll give my honorable mention too, since I didn't get to say my favorite band, because since we did Mini Maiden. Got to throw out Seventh Son just because it wasn't good enough of an album from Maiden to make this list for me.
I
still love Maiden, but once they did "Can I Play with Madness," it fucking bombed the whole album for me, dude.
That fucked it up for you.
I was like, dude, how can you fucking make such a shitty song, dude? It sucked.
And they just
I fucking hate it. I fucking hate it to this day. I hear that song, I'm just like, what the fuck are you thinking?
Did you see him play this year? Because they did do that song on this tour.
I did see him.
Yeah. I saw him like in October. But Iron Maiden's my all-time favorite band. To me, Iron Maiden can do no wrong. I mean, they do have a couple. Like to me, that Can I Play With Madness to You is like Heaven Can Wait to me. Like I just can't stand that song.
Exactly. Heaven Can Wait and Can I Play With Madness are the 2 shittiest songs they've ever written.
Now that song's now it's stuck in my head. I'm like, fuck, man, because they even played that live. I was like, man, what the fuck they play that song live?
I know. I don't know what they're thinking, dude. And fucking Yannick Gears, dude, kick that fucker out.
Yeah.
I don't care if he's been with the band for a long time. Get rid of his ass. He's back there throwing his fucking guitar around and just being a distraction the whole fucking concert.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And now they got Nico's out of there, so you get the.
Oh yeah, that sucks. Well, at least I got to see Nico on the last tour. So
I mean, good thing about Nico though, I mean, he deserves to kind of retire because he's like, I'd rather see him retire if he was slowing down or maybe he was holding back.
Well, he had a stroke, I think. He's like 71 or something.
Yeah.
It's like, I'd rather see him retire than die.
Yeah, and as they say, he's still going to be involved. Probably behind the scenes. We'll probably play on the record, the next record, I'm sure. But just touring wise, they got that other guy.
Yeah, Mike Portnoy will fill in or something.
Yeah, well, that's what I thought there was going to be. Like, they already
announced comes in for every kick-ass band. I'll do Rush and do everybody.
I figured it was going to be either Kenny Aronoff, Mike Portnoy, or who was ever the guy from Blink 182 that.
Travis Barker.
Yeah, Travis Barker or Chad Smith. But they ended up getting the guy from British Lion, the drummer.
The guy that played with Steve Harris.
Yeah. I've kind of figured they were going to keep it in the family.
Steve Harris' son in that band or something? Or his band's called like Raven or something.
Yeah, his band's called Raven. So Steve Harris has British Lion, which is like a separate band.
Oh, that's right. He plays in that band.
Yeah. That's like his side project.
All right.
Good band. I mean, very melodic metal or rock, I guess you could say. But they kept it in the family. What about you, Jude? Number 4.
Number 4, I'm gonna go with Jane's Addiction. Nothing shocking.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Alternative. but heavy as
That's
fuck.
not metal.
Yeah,
It's heavy, bro. It's heavy.
If you think about it, that was kind of like the start of like that kind of, you say, shifted into like that alternative rock. I guess you could say metal. Like, those guys.
Yeah,
were
it's got all the alternative grooves, but it's got the crunchy.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Dave Navarro had a little crunchy tone going on.
Yeah,
it was heavy.
I remember the VHS cassette with the videos and stuff. I remember me and Tony watching it, and like remember the end where like Perry and the other guy starts making out and kissing and stuff, and because they wanted to be shocking, but they, we're not gay. We just want to shock everyone or whatever. Yeah, we used to see I used to see what's his name? The singer was Perry Farrell or whatever. When we moved to Hollywood, we were living in a van in Western Hollywood Boulevard, and we'd see Perry Farrell walking down the street every now and then. It looked like he was scoring drugs or some shit because he always looked out of it, and we'd see him walking from the billiards and shit. They stayed at that billiards place every now and then. That place was a fucking hellhole, man.
And punched Dave Navarro in the face.
Yeah, I saw that, man.
I was in Boston. I just landed in Boston. And I heard about it because the concert was going on right there. I was like, what?
Yeah. Yeah. Matter of fact, I think I got a little clip here. That was definitely a start of a new movement of music. And obviously, that probably led into the grunge scene and so I mean, there were definitely like when the time when bands were, like the metal bands were starting to like have more prettier hair and sort of tone down their image, and here comes a band like Jane's Addiction, just totally.
And like they had kind of a Hollywood kind of scene, but a little heavier than some of the other bands that were.
Yeah, definitely. And there's like the
going
punk
around
and the hardcore. Yeah. So that was your number 4, right?
Yeah. What do you got?
Dead End.
Oh shit.
Oh wait, we're on number 3, I think, right? Yeah.
Nope, we're on 4.
Okay, so then what was I? So then this is my number 4. Then Dead End, Shambara. I mean, it's a Japanese metal band. Everyone was into loudness and EZO, but this was the band that just like, I mean, check out this riff right here. Of course, he sings all in Japanese.
Look at Low California.
Fuck you, cool. But I mean, the guitar playing. I mean, just the way his tone is. I pulled up this clip of the guitar player, a more recent video of him before he passed away. His name is Yugi Adachi, but his like nickname was Yu, like YOU. That vibrato. And that's one thing I always, when it comes to guitar playing, that's the one thing I always focus on is the person's vibrato. And it's just the way he just smooths, like it's like ice cream or whatever. The way he was just, the way he lands on those notes, and it's like that's one of me as a guitar player. That's one thing I'm always trying to achieve is that I want to achieve that ultimate vibrato. Like I feel like I'm getting there, but I still got ways to go. And I don't care how fast you are, how technical you are. If that vibrato is what makes it.
Just, either of you guys know who that band is besides Eric? I never heard of them.
I think Paul.
I heard the name, I never heard.
I thought you were into, like back when I was into him, I thought I was turning you guys on to him or whatever. Like
I do listen to quite a bit of Japanese bands.
Yeah, remember Dance Macabre, the video.
Yeah. Yeah,
and the singer had the hair kind of spiked out and kind of They had kind of a really gothic look to them at the time. At that time, all the bands were kind of glam, and they had more of a goth look to them, which was like before goth was a thing, I guess, or goth was a thing around that time. But as far as
that's
goth
cool.
metal,
Get something to check out now.
Yeah,
I like a lot of the Japanese bands, especially the ones that the girl guitar players. Man, they're amazing.
Oh yeah, crazy. Yeah.
I listen to
Baby Metal,
Love Bites, and they're amazing.
Love Bites,
Love Bites is amazing. Yep. And there's a Royal Courts or something. I forgot what they call it.
Did you guys ever see Loudness in concert? I saw them like in the 2000s, and they were fucking awesome.
Unfortunately, I never got to see them. I mean,
I love Akira. Akira is one of my favorites.
Dude, I didn't realize how short he was, dude. I think you'll sky him, Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I saw him, he was all bald and shit. And he was wearing like a camouflage outfit and stuff. Then you would have never known it was him, but he fucking was still. As soon as he started playing, it was like, holy fuck, it was crazy. I got to see him in this little tiny club in like the industrial part of San Francisco. Fucking crazy. It was such an awesome show.
Shit.
Nice.
Yeah, I'd like to see him. Yeah.
I put up a couple of two Loudness concerts on my YouTube channel, like from the Thunder in the East tour. And then the 1983 concert, and I got a lot of views. Like the Thunder and East, I think it's up to like 10,000 views or something.
Damn. I think I got a guitar pick from him that night too.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite bands of all time. Loudness. I mean, back in the day, it was Loudness, it was Iron Maiden, it was Scorpions, Judas Priest, all that shit, man. What's your number? So number 2 then, right? Is that where we're at?
We're on number 3 now.
Oh, we're on number 3. Okay, yeah.
Top 3. Let's go.
Yep.
All right. Is it me?
Yep.
All right, I'm going to switch gears and we're going to slow things down a little bit. It'll be Candlemass Ancient Dreams.
Yeah.
Heavy, doomy, operatic. It's just, great recipe for, a great band.
Yeah.
Candlemass has been one of my favorite bands. I wish I got to see them. Would have liked to see Messiah McCone live. And the amazing thing about them is the music is all written by their bass player. But they got some awesome stuff,
So heavy.
Every one of their albums has been amazing for me.
Yeah.
Everyone with Messiah on it, including the first album with their old singer, which is now their current singer. What's it called? Epicus Metallicus. Doomicus. Yeah, that's a great album. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my favorite record.
Yeah,
I like Messiah too, but I like the other guy's voice better.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Is Messiah the guy with the big poofy hair? Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, he did his other band, Memento Mori. That one was pretty good. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Okay.
Very doomy. Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Chris? Number 3.
All right. Well, this might be one of the top ones because I see everybody else, but in case you haven't guessed. Crystal clear, perfect fucking solos, kick-ass voice. Blew Metallica off the fucking stage that year. So, Operation Mindcrime. You already know.
Operation Mindcrime.
Of course, I can't hit that note, but hey.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Operation Falsetto.
I love the cynical lyrics on that album.
The lyrics, yeah.
Some really cynical lyrics on there. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Talking about taking Mary at the altar.
Yeah.
When I was listening to it recently, and then that story came out about that guy that shot that CEO, and there's a conspiracy where he was hired by somebody. I was thinking about him being that character in the Operation Mindcrime.
Oh yeah.
That Mangione guy, or whatever. It's like,
you bastard.
Yeah, especially when he's on the run.
I remember now.
Yeah, I remember now. I remember United Healthcare fucking me over with my insurance, and so I shot the guy.
Dude, my long-term disability fucking shit. I'm like fucking United Healthcare, but somebody deserves to die, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I have long-term disability, but I'm miraculously cured because you said I am.
Yeah.
So it wasn't random. He was actually targeted.
I don't think he was targeted.
Oh no, he was targeted.
Yeah, he was targeted.
The guy fucking looked him up
wrote
and
about it.
He knew that there was a conference, and he just picked him out and snuffed him.
Yeah.
Like that kid that did it, I guess his back was all fucked up before, so
Yeah.
I think he got fucked over and said, "You know what? I'm tired of this shit." I'm not saying he's a hero, but
Luigi that did it. Yeah, Mario's
Open up
brother.
some eyes.
Yeah, it's gonna, maybe they'll be like, because they deny everybody, dude. It doesn't matter. It's fucking crazy. So
Yeah.
because I've lived through that shit, and it's fucked up my life. So
yeah, I work in that system. I know people need open heart surgery, and they're on waiting for insurance approval. And it's like, this is not elective. This is life or death.
Yeah.
It has to be done.
All about the billing. What about you, Jude? Number 3.
All right. Well, Kris said it. They blew him off the stage, but
Yep.
Number 3.
He blew Queensrÿche off your list off the stage.
Remember when this record came out? I loved it, even though the bass isn't that great on it, but it was memorable.
Whatever bass was on there, right?
Yeah.
Catchy tracks.
The recording was kind of not that great, but the fucking album was killer. So.
Yeah, it's a great album.
Blackened.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with
Blackened.
Yeah, sort of like that. But like when Empire came out, the bass was like fucking awesome on that one.
Yeah. My number 3 is Impellitteri. I can never say the guy's name, but
Impellitteri. Yeah, that's a good man. Record. Good guitar player.
Yeah, I mean, I love Grant Bonham. Always loved his voice, but this is what really made me love his voice when he sang on this album. And
it's pretty amazing.
A lot of the songs are on there. Yeah. What's the one? Stand in Line. I guess that's the name of the album. Stand in Line. Came out in 1988. That's what we're on. 1988, guys.
Crazy.
Yeah. Now we're getting down to number 2 for Paul.
All right, let's go.
Number 2 for me. These guys, a lot of people don't know about them. Well, metalheads stuck underground, but number 2 is No Place for Disgrace by Flotsam and Jetsam.
Oh yeah.
You were just talking about Metallica.
Oh, nice.
It's a great album. I mean, the track No Place for Disgrace is an awesome song. Newsom's voice is just amazing. Continues to be amazing to this day. Still reproduces really great music. Guitar playing is just awesome. He's the only person that's original that's left in the band. I mean, he's kept it. He's been on every single album. So
go back and listen to some
for
more
him.
And
still continuing to be heavy. It's gotten a lot more technical than their first album. And
I remember listening
to get more.
They put out a new album, I think this year, made it.
And
I really liked what I heard on it.
Mm-hmm. So the one before this one, Blood in the Water, was awesome. Also,
good album.
Yeah.
What about you, Kris? Number 2.
All right. Well, I didn't dig up the fucking albums, but
yeah, that's all right. Oh, okay. Testament.
So obviously the Legacy and this they did on both the tours. I had my other shirt, but New Order.
I'm still waiting for my reissue to be delivered to me. I pre-ordered it on Amazon like a year ago when it was being announced or whatever, and it's still says on hold. I think I canceled it eventually, but
yeah, to me this album is just like a fucking pinnacle of thrash. It's so fucking awesome.
Yeah, in fact, I think I pulled it up because I have it on cassette actually.
Yeah, Alex Skolnick's guitar playing is just off the hook.
Yeah,
it doesn't.
I don't know why that one didn't make my list. I think I just overlooked it.
Yeah. It's an honorable mention.
I love it. No, I love that.
Love it.
Yeah.
No, so this could have been it could have easily been my number 1, but I've seen my number 1 pop up already. But
I like it more now than I did back when it came out.
I don't know. I think Testament is probably my favorite overall thrash band of all time.
Yeah.
But
they always deliver.
The other album I'm gonna do for number 1, I think, beat this one out. So New Order could probably tie with number 1. This was like my hardest choice, making it number 1 or number 2. So.
They got a new album in the works. I think they got a new album coming out, Testament. From what I understand.
And I just saw them, so they're still fucking so awesome. It's crazy that these guys I can barely fucking walk and shit, and these guys are up there fucking playing on stage still like nothing happened.
And all these bands are still putting out better records than Metallica.
Exactly.
Like really thrash bands. Even though Metallica's last album was actually really good, I think the 72 seasons better than that Hardwire shit that came out. But Hardwire was good when it first came out, but then it just got boring really fast. But I think
I never did both of those albums. I got them, and I just
Yeah, after a while.
I just listened to them like 2 or 3 times, and I never fucking put them on again. Even like Death Magnetic, the same thing. I was like, yeah, it's pretty good, but I didn't fucking want to hear it over and over.
I think they're too long. I think you need to like maybe just put out an album with 8 songs on it, the next album or something.
For me, like Metallica seems like they're trying too hard to fucking recapture what they used to have or something, you know?
Yeah. They still pull it off live though. I mean, they're fun to watch live even nowadays. Like just the way they, they're just so tight live. And
yeah, well, I got my fucking $350 tickets to see them in Santa Clara. So.
Oh yeah, okay. Damn. Yeah. What about you, Jude? Number 2.
Number 2. I got a cool copy of this one. This is Danzig.
Oh, it's like
first record.
Danzig made this. I'm gonna have to get that album.
Got a cool little promo photo.
Yeah.
And I got a little promo packet that came with it, a little biography. It's about 5 pages long or something.
Nice.
Pretty cool. But yeah, that's my number 2. Love this record. It's just pure hard. It's like it's barely even metal, It's like more like a hard rock record.
Yeah.
But it's groovy. His voice is perfect on this record.
It's like dark though, right? Like it's got some dark.
Yeah, it's dark. It's like evil blues rock or something.
Yeah.
Blues rock talking about Satan.
Yeah.
So I love it.
Nothing wrong with that. Number 2 for me is Chris's honorable mention. It's not a very, but the reason why, because Iron Maiden is my number 1 favorite band, so I gotta rank them up.
Gotta be on there, but
I gotta
just take left. Can I play with magic, and then it'll be fun.
Yeah, aside from the madness, because to me, like the Evil That Men Do is like one of my favorite songs of all time, and then like I just love that melody in it.
Yeah, it's got good tracks, just not their best.
Oh yeah, and then like obviously Moonchild is like one of my favorite. I remember figured out on guitar, and I was like, "Wow, this is a fun song to play on guitar." And,
a lot of the guitars are kind of synthy though on that album.
Yeah,
for me.
A lot of real kind of mushy synthy sounding.
Yeah.
But I like it better than Somewhere in Time, because Somewhere in Time, like I said, it kills me with that one song, Heaven Can Wait, and just like the way that song right here kills it for you. But
yes, I like Somewhere in Time better than that one, to be honest.
Yeah.
Actually, I remember
I like the album cover too. It's like nice and warm.
Yeah, well, I remember the stage set. Actually, Barbara Mumpy took me to that show. I went with her and her. What was that blonde-headed girl she used to hang out with? Remember Jude?
I remember. It was like
her name was Julie or something like that, right?
Matt's girlfriend at one point.
So we fucking drove up there. I remember we were going up over Pacheco Pass, and it was when it was 2 lanes and there was like no center divider. And fucking Barbara was driving down the road. And some fucking cars coming at us head on. Oh. And she's like, "What the fuck?" And swerved. We almost fucking died going to that show.
Cool.
And then fucking Guns N' Roses opened up for them. And oh my God, they sucked. They were all wasted. They played like shit. Yeah. I was like, oh my God, they're the shitty band. But they were both, Barbara and fucking Julie were like, oh, they're the greatest band ever. Every fucking girl loved them, right? And then after the show's over, not the show, but after Guns N' Roses was over, fucking Barbara and her like, okay, let's go. I'm like, fuck you. I'll fucking walk home if you fucking leave. I'm not going. But no, the concert was awesome. But yeah, that song, dude.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I only got to see him three times. I saw him on the Dance of Death for the first time, and then I was too drunk at that show, and then I got to see him in 2019, and then this last year, just our 2024.
I think I've seen every tour since.
You got to see
since Power Slave, except for the Blaze Bailey tours.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Blaze
who? That's good.
Yeah.
What about you, Paul? Here we are, the moment of truth.
What's
your number one? Number one of 1988.
Number 2, isn't it?
Number 1.
Yeah, we're on.
Are we on number 1?
Yeah,
we're on number 1.
Number 1, Death, Pull the Plug. Or pull the plug. Leprosy, not pull the plug. Leprosy.
Plug. Okay, yeah.
Leprosy. I love that song. Pull the plug. That's
I pulled that on cassette.
That's like so heavy, man. That's just the song. Pull the plug is just so freaking heavy.
Yeah.
When I first heard Death, when Scream Bloody Gore came out, I was like, "Fuck, this is awesome!" And then when they released that album, I was like, "Yeah." And then after that, they released Spiritual Healing, which is probably the last great album.
Yeah, I got that.
I mean, they still remained a good band, just became super, super technical after that. he writes really amazing stuff.
He had another band too, right? He started like some other kind of proggy.
Yeah, he had another band that's like a regular metal band.
Yeah,
that he did. It's pretty cool if you get a chance to listen to it.
I think I heard a cover. They did a Kiss song.
Yeah,
someone posted that earlier. Like,
but yeah, I've seen them live so many times, and it's like perfect every time. You know,
I don't know, for some reason I didn't get into Death until like later on. Like, I know all you guys were listening to Death, but for some reason I didn't connect with them at that time. But then later on, I got more into the.
I like the stuff with DiGiorgio on it.
Yeah. Oh, like Human.
Yeah.
And then they started getting into titles that's hard to remember and hard to pronounce.
Yeah, Chuck Skolnick.
It's good because when Giorgio got in there, and then when Haugland joined them, it just got really technical.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the band I saw, like where he was fucking playing the bass and like fucking keyboards at the same time and shit.
Giorgio. He had the bass pedals too, just like
that's what it was. I mean, it was fucking crazy, dude. I was like, holy shit. As I saw him in like a little tiny club in San Francisco, I was like sitting like right in front of him, like I could reach out and touch.
Oh damn.
Yeah, it was fucking incredible. I didn't even know who it was till recently. I think one of you guys were telling me, "Oh, Steve." I was like, "Fuck."
Yeah. But your number. What's
some honorable mentions? Of course, Slayer's my favorite band, so South of Heaven is one of my favorites. Didn't make the list. I didn't even know the album was coming out. We went to this record store in Atwater back then that was next to Atwater Music, and the guy had it. I was like, holy shit, Slayer's got a new album out? We didn't even know. And it was different than all the other Slayer albums. It was a lot slower pace. And like Jude was saying, Tom Araya is more of a talking than singing. It was a lot different than, than Raining Blood and all that.
And just screaming.
And then, of course, Destruction. Love that album's great. And then the Voivod. But all the ones you guys also mentioned, was on the list there.
Yeah, honorable mentions.
It's just tough to try to narrow it down.
Wait till we do 1987. That's gonna be a tough one.
Yeah, you got a lot then too.
Yeah, there's a lot of good shit on that. Matter of fact, Dead End's gonna make that list too, like because that's their first album. What about you, Chris? Number one.
All right. Well, I've seen it here, but
you said it was tied with another record, right?
Yeah, this one was tough. New Order almost got it, but they just reformed with a new singer, and they still kick ass. I've seen them twice already since they reformed, and this album is just the classic fucking album.
Forbidden Evil.
This and Twisted Into Form were just like two of the best thrash albums ever made.
I somehow missed them too back in the day, but I was listening to it a little bit when you told me when you saw it, and I was like, damn, I'm gonna go back and listen to this now. I was like,
oh my god, this is such a good album, dude. So I'm going back to Danny Gray again, his dad. Same time we were talking about the Benny Moore stuff with the fucking While My Guitar Gently Weeps. So I just like friended his dad on Facebook, and I go, hey, you remember that fucking song Chalice of Blood? And he's like, oh, fuck yeah, I remember that song. He was out in the parking lot and listened to the album.
So Danny's dad was like, he was like a metalhead or something, Danny's dad?
He was like in a rock. He was in the Air Force, but he was fucking super cool. Yeah.
Cool, yeah. I don't think I ever met his dad, but I remember.
He gave Danny like a Gibson. I forgot what the fucking model was.
Yeah.
But it was a pretty cool guitar. So.
Yeah.
But all the time the vocals on this are fucking amazing. The guitar solos are fucking incredible.
Where were they from? Where was Forbidden from? Are they a Frisco band?
Yeah, they're a Frisco band. Yeah. But Through Eyes of Glass, probably my favorite song, and maybe Chalice of Blood. But Through Eyes of Glass, like the alternating fucking solos and the bass playing on it, everything is fucking awesome on this album. It's just
I'm gonna go back and get that album. I like the album cover too. I like the color.
Yeah, everybody. I'm looking at it all the time. Everybody's got the fucking tattoos of this all over them.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I have seen that. That logo is cool too. I like that logo. It's like really well done.
Yeah, they just redid their logo as like the reformed thing. It's almost the same, but a little bit different.
A little bit different. Are they still active? So they're still active then, right?
Yeah, they just reformed. So like I said, I just saw them twice since they got back together.
Nice.
Working on a new album right now.
Yeah, should be cool.
Yeah.
But they're fucking, like I said, they need to get another second guitarist because the other, like Steve Smith, just quit. So.
That's what I like about this show. Like it gives us a chance to, like for me, like to rediscover stuff that I passed up somehow. And then to me, it's gonna be like, wow, I'm gonna hear something new. So it's gonna be like a new music.
I don't know how you missed that one.
I don't know.
This is like the fucking best album ever, best thrash album of all time.
Yeah,
arguably, right?
I was looking at that Wikipedia list. I was like, damn, I missed that. Like, where was I in '88? I was fucking around with that Tiffany chick, man.
Well, she was probably at that show that they played in fucking Merced, dude. How did you not go?
Right. Yeah, I was probably there. I just don't remember. I was drinking a lot too. That's when I started drinking a little bit more than my drinking got way out of hand when I get to LA and shit. But yeah. What about you, Jude? Number one.
All right. My number one record is one of my favorite artists of all time, King Diamond.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there he is.
I love concept records, and this is like one of the greatest stories.
Yeah. I like his album better than that.
Got all immersive. He's got like the letter and everything.
Yeah,
trying to like
cool.
Get it further immersed, into the story. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Jude's the one who got me into Merciful Fate and King Diamond.
I
remember you had Melissa.
Yeah.
I had Don't Break the Oath. I bought that when I lived overseas, but then I got into it more when Jude had Melissa, and then he had Fatal Portrait. And I got
into Don't Break the Oath in '84 when it came out. Like the guy Marcel that was in our band.
That's what I was just gonna mention. Remember we were talking about Marcel.
Yeah. He'd always have that little on his boombox. Mitchell would go pick up Jimmy at school. Me and Tony would go pick up Jimmy, and Marcel would be with us. And he had that. I'd be like, damn, what album is that? And he's like, it sounded evil, and I said, so I got to buy it. So I bought it. I remember just being scared. I was in my room listening to it. I'm like, oh, kind of scared of it. This is the scariest shit I've ever heard. Like,
I got a couple honorable mentions. I don't know if you guys can see them. But it's
Phalanx.
A couple demos that came out in 1988.
Yeah, those were both in '88. Okay.
Yeah. I love that Phalanx tape, man.
Your MFMR tape.
I don't even remember that Will-O-Wisp tape. What songs are on that Will-O-Wisp tape?
This one's got 2001, 700-Hour Coma, Reincarnation, and Fairy Tale.
Yeah. Okay.
And on the back it says Will-O-Wisp, 1988.
Matter of fact, I was
the 700-Hour Coma. That's a cool song.
Yeah.
Did you have that one digitized up on the
my head?
I think I did put
one eye open or something like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think I did put the Will-O-Wisp on YouTube.
With Jimmy singing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Both these were recorded at Bob Pogue's house.
Yeah.
Or his little home studio when he still just had a 4-track.
Yeah.
That's funny because I recorded this at Bob Hoke's studio also.
Oh yeah, Festation. Yep.
Produced by Tim Emmerich.
Nice. Yep.
Tim Emmerich, yeah. Jimmy Watts did ours in Scott's fucking bedroom on a 4-track.
Nice.
Jude did a couple of ours for us too. We still have them,
That song
that 4-track has recorded so many people's music.
Yeah, the song Reincarnation, I just remembered the riff. I started playing it again recently. I was like, well, I'm going to make this into a song because that is actually a cool riff that I wrote way back when. And
I love that song 2001.
Yeah.
Like Jimmy's voice on that song sounded so good.
That's a good riff too. Like, me and
that
Jimmy
was a good one.
That song.
Yeah, I had that big fucking stretch, and it was like I remember I used to always love playing it, man.
Yeah.
It always sounded like the Wizard, right?
Yeah, that's what we were like. We didn't know it at the time. That people, I was like, wait, shit, maybe Jimmy did take that from that. We were both writing it in his bedroom. Yeah. My number one is everyone's list is Operation Mindcrime.
Of course. Record, huh?
I mean, to me, it's just like the ultimate record of like probably even the whole 80s, maybe. I don't know. It's like, it's definitely, if it's not the record of 88, it is my record of 88 for sure.
Yeah, I think that one won. I think everybody's put that one up pretty high.
Yeah. And this was what was the other one that was consistent? I can't remember this. Like other album that we all had on our list or whatever. Yeah.
Showed up at least twice.
Yeah. So Operation Mindcrime. So there we have it. 1988 was a great year. 1987, we're gonna do 1989. Then we're gonna go back.
87 is gonna be tough.
87 is gonna be tough. 89 is not gonna be too
87
hard.
is gonna be tough.
89 is not gonna be too hard because that's as far as like record medalists.
As we approach the 90s, the it gets a little bit thinner.
Yeah, that's what Chris was saying. That
we'll be talking about different genres mixed with it.
Yeah. Oh, Pantera be on someone's list probably.
Yeah,
I know Pantera.
Yeah,
not mine.
Not mine. Yeah. I try to get into Pantera. Just can really. I mean, some of their stuff is good, I guess, but nothing I would actually buy.
I saw him with Skid Row, and Skid Row blew him off stage, man.
Yeah.
Skid Row was so freaking heavy.
Yeah, you
compared to Pantera.
You gotta check out that new Sebastian
Skid
Bach
Row had
record,
two
man.
guitar players, and they had a freaking heavy tone.
Yeah.
I saw them at the San Jose State. San Jose State. I took Shannon to that show because she wanted to see Skid Row, and they freaking did an awesome job.
Nice.
I mean, Pantera was good, but it wasn't nothing compared to the opener. What Say Pantera was? It was Vinnie Paul's birthday, so they had strippers on stage.
Yeah, Pantera used to be glam too, you know. So
yeah.
Glam terror, they call him.
Oh yeah, before they fucking went full on.
Yeah.
Before Cowboys from Hell.
Yeah. Used to see him in Hit Parader with the.
I think Cowboys from Hell is still my favorite album from them.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, they're a good band. It's like a really tight, super.
I mean, Phil Anselmo's got an amazing voice. You know, he can do. He's got some range on there. He could do a bunch of other stuff.
He did anyway. I don't know about anymore, but then he did.
Like a lot of stuff.
Like Down or something.
Like a lot of those bands,
was he in Down? I think he was in Down, right?
Oh, is Down playing with that Danzig show?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking awesome because I didn't even know that. I thought I looked at that today. I was like,
A lot of those bands are like just remind me of like bro metal, like hey bro, like you know. Like
I feel like Pantera like started the genre of like clean, just like radio metal, you know. It's like pure, just like almost like pop for metal.
Oh, come on, I don't think so.
I remember KNAC used to play the shit out of when we first moved to LA, and like we were just seeing Cowboys from Hell on there.
The Liquid Metal still plays the crap out of them, man.
Yeah.
What was the song they had? Remember they had the video for that one in the cemetery gates or something like that?
Yeah, Cemetery Gates.
Yeah,
that was on Cowboys from Hell. Dude, the fucking solos on that album are killer. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
I like it.
It's good.
Just you know.
Yeah, definitely.
Good stuff.
It's kind of a douchey metal.
I hate all you guys.
We'll have to do a Pantera versus something show.
I don't care for their later albums after that because he started doing Cookie Monster vocals and shit. But that album, his vocals, everything was kicking ass.
Yeah, he used to actually like sing back then, huh?
Yeah. I mean, he could sing then. It was. You know how fucking metal got in the 90s. Everybody went to go.
Even Testament released an album like that.
You didn't fucking.
I love that demonic Testament record. You like that one, Chris?
Is that the album that did that? Yeah.
6.
Yeah.
All right, guys. This has been fun. And we're going to do it again. Y'all are definitely welcome to come back and do some. If you guys got a list for 1987, 1988, or 89, and then we'll go through the 80s and all that good stuff. And the Metal Block is back. You know, I think the next show I'm going to be doing is my top 2024 releases. If you guys have any if you guys are up to new music or new releases, if you want to join me on that, you can. If you have a 20 or even a top 10, I'm going to do top 20 of the new albums that's come out this year. I do that every year.
Top 20, wow.
Yeah, so like
this year.
I think I've got about 40 records I got to choose from.
Wow.
But my top three, like I can't say what order they are now, but the top contenders are Sebastian Bach solo album, Bruce Dickinson solo album, and the new Judas Priest. Fucking that Sebastian Bach album is just good.
The new Priest is awesome for sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Even the KK's Priest, I was like, holy fuck, that's killer too.
Yeah, that
was. I saw him live.
Yeah, that made my list last
year.
Yeah.
Yeah, so much energy live, man.
Mm-hmm.
That guy still rips.
Yeah. KK down. All right, guys. So so join us next time on the next episode of Metal Block. And until then, Atwater.
Falcons. Got a shout out to Winton, man.
Winton, I lived in Winton.
All three of us were Winton at one point.
Yeah, we all lived in Winton.
I lived in Winton for a little bit. Yeah, at population 5,000. I even was at 5 years old. I was in the Winton parade with my aunt riding on the horse.
And just let you know, nothing's changed there. Still the same.
Winton Spring Festival.
Yeah, it regressed back to fucking crime. Yeah.
You go to Winton, the mosquito's going to carry you away, man.
All right, everyone. So horns up and peace out. Yeah.